That's what I would expect.
No, they didn't necessarily
Read the
say
beginning
that.
part. Read the beginning part of what you just read.
They didn't say that it had to strengthen it.
No, no. I said when they talk about modifying, they're talking about that's what strength. It's only that means new evidence is coming in and then modify. It's like putting pieces to a puzzle together, right? You start off, but you don't have all 1,000 of the puzzle, right? So as you come in, the picture start to get more clear. You start to modify the picture. It's strengthening. Everything is all the things are adding up. That's what it meant. That's
Well,
why the
I
first.
don't.
Just
Well,
read the first part of what you read, and then read the very first part of what you read, and just stop.
it said
Conversation.
the strength of a scientific theory is related to the diversity of phenomena it can explain and its simplicity. So the strength of a scientific theory is related to the diversity of phenomena it can explain and its simplicity.
Read it again.
Hey,
That's good.
Yeah,
the strength of a scientific theory is related to the diversity of phenomena it can explain and its simplicity. Mean right. So, but that don't mean that it got to be rejected.
I didn't say. I said it. I said if you read the very first part, it tells you that if information comes in that counters the theory has to be thrown out. Like you just read that part, the very first part.
No. That's not what it said. So I'm
read
gonna
the very.
continue. I'm gonna continue reading.
I'm
gonna continue reading. As additional scientific evidence is gathered, a scientific theory may be modified and ultimately rejected if it cannot be made to fit the new findings.
Boom.
So, that's
what he said.
That ain't what he said. That's not what he said. Okay, so question. Question. If new evidence comes in, right?
That counters the theory.
That not even necessarily counters. Let's say
it has to count if it goes along the theory. You just modify it, bro.
Right. So let's say it modifies the theory, but the modification may fit the new phenomena that is discovered, the new evidence. It may fit it, but it ain't a strong explanation. It's like, I can see that. But at the same time, in order to accommodate that explanation, it weakens another piece of the evidence that existed in the explanation. Would you say that's strengthening it?
I don't know what's going on.
Or would you say that?
I just kind of like I kind of.
So now y'all gonna act like y'all.
Good enough. Like, listen.
But the thing is, the bottom line is you didn't explain it. You can't explain it. Like
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, as long as if you understand it, then that's good enough for me. If I just be wrong. I just would.
Right.
Yeah, I just be. Read the sergeant again.
Yeah. I understand that. I be reading stuff, and the way y'all paraphrase don't quite capture everything what I read. So maybe it's me, or maybe doing a better job of paraphrasing or highlighting the key details will really help.
No, yeah, cool. I mean, every reading is starting to be. Is something in there that you understand that we not picking up?
Well, no. See, the problem becomes when people have certain questions and you say that's not how that works because you ask a question, and then okay, well, if that's not how that works, let me go see because I'm not gonna just rely on you telling me that some shit not gonna it don't work like that when I could just go Google that shit and see how it works. So either you don't know how it works or you ain't telling me the full scope of how it works, which is fine. But when I go look it up, it didn't say it worked the way you said it worked, and that's just the bottom line. I'm not saying you don't understand.
No, what I'm saying
when I went to follow up.
What you're saying is that, and you don't understand is that when you add something to it over here, and it's kind of okay over there, and it kind of really makes another part not good. Like that's not a scientific. It don't work like that. That shit has to be modified. Other things have to stay in play. If you start twinkling, if this shit makes this shit invalid, that theory is no longer valid no more. It has to be thrown out. You can only modify it. That's the whole point.
Again, I'm not saying that theories don't get rejected, but modification wasn't really a part of.
What would cause the theory to get rejected? I'm asking. Why would a theory be rejected? Or make them throw out a theory? Well, based on what you read.
Based on what I read, new evidence that cannot be when you have new evidence and the existing explanation does not fit in its entirety, everything, all the phenomena. If it cannot be justified and modified with the existing within the existing theory, all the phenomena.
Right, because there may be some things in there that it does fit, right?
Yeah.
Right. Right, but it doesn't fit. But other things that doesn't fit in with, right?
Right. They said
so
that
some of
hold on. They said that some of the things some of the theories still can exist depending on the simplicity of the phenomena.
I'm working with your explanation of how it can be thrown out. You said that it doesn't fit, it doesn't fall in line with all the mechanisms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some fits, but some doesn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if some fit and some doesn't, then you got to throw it out. You got to start another theory.
Right, but
that's what I'm saying. So if that's clear, that's what I'm trying to say. If I said it differently and you receive it a different way, then that's my bad. But that's what I'm saying. So now we got to understand what it is. We should just move forward.
Oh, okay. Now I just want to be clear that you understand what I'm saying. So do you feel? I'm just asking because I haven't said it yet. So do you feel that if there's an existing explanation, new phenomena comes in, but it weakens the explanation of another phenomena, it doesn't completely discount it, but it may weaken the explanation, do you feel like that's going to be rejected? Or is that just a modification that's going to be made, but the existing explanation still stands?
No, I mean, like like you're saying, shit like weaken is ambiguous, right? Like when you talk about modifying, that means that it could be that's something that could be adjusted without having to change the whole shit. You understand me? It's like modifying a goddamn engine. If I could put something in and modify it and it doesn't fuck with the other mechanism to make my engine blow, then everything is in line. But if that modification causes other things to wiggle, no matter how mighty it may seem, but if that engine can't go right because of that modification, you gotta break the whole engine down.
So that's not a simple yes or no.
Well, look, yes, then yes. All right.
But, so Bias must did cut the live.
No, we still live. He started a new one.
Oh, well, let me find the new live. I'm still in the old shit.
Yeah, but I was just saying, like, like, I don't know how many times would y'all want to, like, they still doing tag team show. Like, they are now tripling down. You know what I'm saying? It done went past, it's surpassed Fuki out.
Yeah, they done brought Egypt into shit.
Yeah, they done brought Egypt in and
like they act like they not. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, and now we just so confused. We just don't know what they saying, and because they so fucking smart and they not saying what we think they saying.
What again?
Bunch of nonsense.
Again, I'm not saying that
they ain't. Hold on, though, Amber. That was cold blooded. That was cold blooded of you. Because we went over. I know I'm coming in late or whatever. But no. We went over the theory thing earlier, and we was both on the same page. Like we went through that pretty in detail, about how it makes predictions, right? So it's be based on facts. Like the theory is based on facts, and all that we doing in the theory is explaining the facts or the phenomena that happen, right? And so when you if the facts ain't facts, then we can't. The explanation is totally wrong. So you have to throw the theory out. You see what I'm saying? You can't have part of the explanation. You can't have a fact be wrong, right? And then somehow some parts of the theory is still right. Like the theory is wrong at that point. You have to throw it out at that point because that was part of your explanation. That was part of the theory.
You say you can't have a fact be wrong, but the explanation isn't necessarily a fact.
Right. So when if a fact is wrong, the explanation has to be thrown out. You see what I'm saying? Because your explanation was based on that.
Yeah. If you discover a fact that don't align with the rest of the theory,
right,
but
right.
it's still a fact, then it doesn't. Yeah. Then the theory is not supported by a fact, meaning that the theory can't be substantiated no more.
Right.
That's right. That's what it means. Right.
But
like Sophie explained it perfectly with the engine.
Right, but also though, the car can still run even though the engine might not be as running as smoothly as we want it to, but but this car is still functioning, right? So like my example was, you can have a new piece of evidence that may have an explanation within the existing theory, but the other parts of the theory may not be as strong as they once were due to this new piece of information. It ain't like everything is completely out of alignment, but it's starting to get a little shifty. We get one more piece of evidence, all this shit might fall apart, and then we might have to start from scratch. But
no, we always get more evidence. We always get one more piece of evidence. It only adds to the theory, not take away. It don't disprove. So there's like we talked about the predictions, right? That some of these facts make. So like, if this is the truth, if this is the fact, then this and this and this is gonna happen, or this and this and this is gonna be the number. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, based on that's what when you find more evidence, when you make those predictions come to fruition, it adds to the theory. Not you don't add something and then it take away from the theory though. That's not. I hate to say, I ain't gonna say that.
I'm not saying taking away from the theory. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe one piece of the facts aren't a new fact maybe offsets some of the strength of what the old fact represented in the explanation. So instead of it like almost like let's say I get $2, right? But I might lose $1 over here. Like at the end of the day, I still got my $2, but I lost $1. So over here. So at this point, I didn't really gain a whole lot of anything. I pretty much broke even. If you understand what I'm saying, like, can new evidence be added? Can new evidence be added and you break even? You don't necessarily like gain. All right. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it might not be a game like, oh, we now know, okay, we kind of know what we knew then. This is just a new piece of evidence that fit into it. It didn't really gain or give us any additional explanation, or it doesn't necessarily explain the piece of phenomena we thought it was going to explain.
No, because once it completes a prediction, right? Now we can probe what that is. So like now, so they predicted the CMB, right? But now that we have the tools, now we can probe the CMB, and we actually can and actually, make further science from it. So when you add to a theory, it's always going to be, like I said, it's going to be a byproduct. You're always going to get something out of it that you can use tangibly from real science. That's just what science is. That's just the whole thing about understanding the universe. It's just an understanding of the universe. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And the thing in nature, it just depends on what field you're talking about. But I wanted to say one thing though, Amber, and it hurt my feelings again though. Like you said, like we be saying shit that the scientists don't even say. Like that's our pride. That's where we lay our hat at though. Like we don't say things that the experts ain't saying. Like, we're not the experts. We keep saying that over and over and over again. Like, we only gonna talk about the theories in the way the experts talk about it. You know what I mean? That's just how we do. We not going outside the bounds of science, and that's what we trying to keep the community from doing? Is going outside those bounds? Like
I mean,
you know what I mean?
I wasn't really talking about the science. I was talking about in reference to.
You was like, y'all be saying shit the scientists don't even be saying.
Well,
Like,
it'd be a whole
lot
lot of ain't never. They didn't notice. They definitely had no idea.
Well,
And
then
that be
we got it
real.
from the
It'd
expert.
be a
If we
whole lot
said
of
that,
that.
the experts told us that if that's what we said.
Right. We know
us
what ancient man didn't know though.
Wait a minute. So it was said the other day that Egyptians were not quote unquote scientific. They were a technical society. They didn't know shit about science.
Who said that? I don't think nobody said something like that. Now, come on now. I don't believe nobody would say that.
Chef, do you want to step up and take credit?
They were a technical society.
And when I said you don't think it's possible, you and Ankh were very adamant that even though it ain't no way they knew about Big Bang. I say let's take
It
Big Bang.
wasn't no way they knew about Big Bang. I double down on that.
But yeah, and then hold on, and then I told you, and then I made it clear, fuck Big Bang Theory. Let's take that out of the equation, period. Are y'all saying that there's no way that they couldn't know certain sciences that we know today, not necessarily know them as we know them, but that they couldn't have had some type of primitive area or study of these things?
Yeah,
and
did a whole
said,
thing on royal blue, on chemistry, right? On how they made the color royal blue.
It was
right?
pretty. It was pretty standard that no, ain't no way. And how would they know these things? And I said, regardless as to whether or not they know them in the way we know them today, are you saying that chemistry or
yeah, did a whole show on that though, on royal blue, on how the chemistry of royal blue and what it took to make the color and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like we did a whole Unc did a whole show.
Are you talking about today?
Explaining that.
No,
are you
but
talking about
long time
in the past.
And you can go back to cologne making in like Babylonian BC time. But even if you watch a chemist show, they'll tell you like, okay, don't call that chemistry. Right? They make a distinction. Like they could be like, yeah, and this lady even had a distilling process. They understood that part of it, but they'll say, okay, but don't call that, don't mix that with actual chemistry. So I'm saying like
who said that? Because there's some articles coming out where they're definitely calling it chemistry. Now they're saying that they're not really sure how they derive these different synthetic compounds, but they're now in papers definitely calling it chemistry. Early science,
scientific papers are articles.
Yes.
Articles. When you read articles, it's for the layman, so it's said in a manner just so the layman can follow. But when you read the actual scientific journal, shit like that, it's not. Some of the languages will change. Right? It's just so the reader can follow. It's, you know what I mean? Because so they don't really lose people. But I can give you a show.
I don't need a show. I thought we was doing journals and shit. I thought that's what we was doing. I don't need a show.
I will give you a show because the scientists, the people that deal with it on the show, and they kind of break it down. That's where it's better to just actually go listen to the science, and they'll tell you what the stop signs are. And they'll let you know, okay, yeah, you can say that, but stop, and they'll let you know the differences and why something is this, why something is that. But yeah, but I mean, everything is in primitive form.
So hold on. So are you saying now, because Chef Reen was so angry a second ago, are you saying now that I don't understand what I'm reading and that I need to go and watch someone of your choosing tell me what they really mean when they say that they were?
That's not my choosing.
Well, you said you're going to give me a show to watch, right?
I mean, because it's just, I deal with something we deal with a lot. I deal with it a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I read more scientific things than you do on a daily basis. I do it all the time.
But again, it's a show that you choose that you feel like outlines the information I should know. Is that what you're saying?
It just talks about chemistry and talks about the evidence of some of the early chemists.
or what
well,
they
as
or what
experts on the show that he was talking about. So
that's
like, that's all.
But what I'm
you want
saying
to
is,
refer to the experts. That's all he's saying.
Again, and what I'm saying is, I have read articles by other experts, but he's saying no, watch these experts, right? Now, I have no problem
talked
with that.
He talked about the language in the articles and the difference between the journals
and
the
because he don't believe that these articles know what they're talking about, because he believes his source is the appropriate source.
He's just talking about the way they word things.
So clearly, whoever wrote this must have been either writing it for the layman, or they must not be in this area. And I obviously don't know the difference between.
That's usually they write for the layman in the articles like that.
But so he's saying that I need to go to the source of videos where scientists are really talking to other scientists, or other scientists watch these videos, so that I can understand.
They explain it in real time in like
right, so that I can understand.
Y'all want to pull up Fukial again?
Yeah, right. So this is why I'm saying now. I'm not upset about his. I'm just trying to be clear, because Shafreen said he was tired of us saying, well, he don't understand it. But people in the community talk like this all the fucking time. Like Sosa pretty much trying to tell me that I don't understand what they said, and here's someone who can explain it better, or so you can get an understanding of what we're saying, so you're not misinformed. That's merely all I'm saying. I feel like there are some areas where y'all misinformed, and I'm saying maybe.
And you may be right. Like we always.
So the best thing to do is go to the actual. Yeah. The best thing to do is go to the experts.
I just go to the experts if I feel
like. But for some reason, we're always missing the mark. We don't understand nothing that somebody is saying. We don't even understand what we're reading. Like, we having whole conversations with motherfuckers, and we're just missing it.
Right. Like the slave in Africa conversation.
Yeah, like everything
we had to beat them off every goddamn point to finally niggas start saying, like, yeah, I understand what y'all saying. 2 weeks of just banging.
Like we can't be this fucking slow. That be my point. Like sometimes these niggas are saying what they're saying.
But honestly, I don't even think that it's that
every now and then they got.
I don't think it's that y'all slow at all. I think everybody is invested in their brand of information, and it's a competition of information. I do. I'm telling you what I think. Now y'all can feel how y'all feel, but me as somebody who don't got no dog in the fight and do not sincerely,
it's only one reality though.
It look at me. To me, it look like everybody.
Let me just say this.
Everybody bring their brand of what they offer on these YouTube streets.
Hold on.
And that's most times what the argument is.
Look how you read Asar's article though.
Let me explain the difference. Asar and Wujaw them, and even Sean and them, are from the school of thought that the Africans have been downplayed. So their job and their goal is to prove that the African will eat either on par or above par in all societies in Europe. That's their angle. So that's the goal that they're trying to prove almost on every show. That's the theme. You know what I'm saying? And we're trying to fight. We're fighting back and saying, okay, all we're saying is like, show us where it's on par at. You know what I'm saying? And that's the argument that's their brand. Their brand is African science. You know what I'm saying? Our brand is science.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. So
science is a human endeavor, not a African or American or Western or European or whatever. Whatever labels y'all like to put on it.
Here's again my problem, because I honestly don't care about y'all doing that. That's not even a problem for me. I welcome that. Don't give a damn. Now, as far as I'm concerned, though, is I get frustrated when I'm watching a show, and I'm not saying, like I said the other day with on the panel, I'm not saying Wujawu never said this shit. I'm not saying Asar never said this. I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying.
I got the time stamp from that show that you didn't hear him say it. I got the time stamp. 2 hours and 6 minute mark, 3 hours and 11 minute mark. He doubled down, and they even said it again, but I ain't going no further. I figured 2 should be sufficient.
Yeah, show me that, because again, I didn't see or
2
hear him
hours,
say
6
that.
minute mark, 3 hour and 11 minute mark. You know what I'm saying? He'll say
this
that
happened on Unbiased show, right?
On Unbiased show. That's what. Yeah.
Okay, we can play it.
He'll tell you. He's saying, yeah, I'm saying it's a scientific endeavor. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't back away from that shit.
But see, a scientific endeavor does not mean it
don't mean a scientific
science
endeavor.
of today. Like,
They didn't make no distinction like that. And like now okay, first you're saying this
again.
Like, we understand that it happened at that time.
You're saying science is science, but
no, I'm saying that the argument that we were having that day is that you said that you didn't hear Wujawu say that they were on a scientific endeavor. I said it's different to have a mythology and shit correlate. I was saying no. They were saying that she was on purpose.
But no. Even hold on. Even that day, I told you, I said y'all keep trying to make it a scientific thing as if it is science today. Yeah, hold on. Well, I'm not even talking to you, Concrete Corey, because I'm talking to a specific conversation me and Sosa was having on the show that I don't think you were involved in.
Well, just tell you what were you looking for Wujawu to say that you thought that he didn't say? Just because so we can be clear.
It's not what I was looking for Wujawu to say. It's what I was looking for him to commit
you said
to.
You said that you didn't hear him say it.
He said.
What did I say he said?
I wanted to hear him say that they had Big Bang Theory, or that they understood Big Bang Theory.
They understood how the universe works. That was the question. I said that they understood how the universe began. That's what you was asking for.
I don't even think we understand how the universe began. So that can't really be the question.
Lord. All right.
I mean, it really, y'all was trying to say that they understood something that we understand today that extended beyond how the universe or how we thought the universe began. Y'all were trying to say that they were alleging that they understood back then the explanation that is the Big Bang Theory of how the universe began. I said I never heard him make that allegation. I never heard that. No. Even when y'all was saying that they weren't scientific, I tried to explain and express. I said, okay, I understand that y'all don't feel like they had our today understanding of what science is, the laws and the rules and the methodologies, but you don't think that they had a more primitive version of what we would call science back then? I said that
they were not on a scientific venture. Then they did. I said there was an origin story. All cultures have origins.
And again, I asked you. I said you don't, because I'm all about the possibility. Because I'm not going to pretend like I know.
No. Possibility. Anything is possible. We don't do possibilities.
It ain't nothing that's impossible.
Hold on. Again, because I hate being cut off. I hate being cut off because people get to laugh because they think somebody's trying to make an argument for fucking African spirituality. I don't give a fuck about none of that, and I'm just being 100 with you. I'm all about logic and what's possible, what's probable, what's improbable, and all of that. So I was asking about the possibility that they had a primitive type of system that we would consider somewhat science. You all said no, or that they were scientific. I was told no, they ain't know nothing about this and this, that, and the third, and this, that, and I was like, well, see, I disagree because I think that that's highly possible, and I think considering from what we've seen,
we're not going to play the possible game because you don't need evidence to prove possible. You can just say it's possible.
But the bottom line is they have evidence that they had science.
Okay, if they have evidence to show.
But hold on, again, what the fuck you mean? Show you?
You just said that they have evidence that it was science, so show it.
That what was science? I'm not talking about their cosmology. I'm talking about civilization. Period. That they had science. That they
okay. And that civilization, show me the science. Show me where it's at. Where is it?
I'm gonna drop some links in the chat, and you can go look just like you want me to go look at the timestamp. I'm gonna just drop some links in the chat. I can just drop the whole fucking Wikipedia page.
What was the science that they had? What was it?
I'm gonna drop it to you.
Technology ain't science.
I'm gonna just drop. Fuck you mean technology? So is there
technology is not science?
Is there a such thing as fire chemistry?
What? Technology is not science.
Is there a such thing as fire chemistry? Meaning when they were shaping and pots and different types of pottery, was that a form of chemistry?
I said technology is not science, is what I said.
I'm not talking about technology. I'm going beyond.
So why are we? If I said
because if they didn't have science, if they didn't have science, is wet chemistry science?
Is who?
Wet chemistry science.
We won't recognize that as science. We won't tell you what. Why don't you pull up? Why don't you pull up that? Pull it up.
I will.
Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull up science in Egypt. See what you get, and then go to that and read it to me. Pull it up.
Argument always end up in Egypt.
That's the only, you know what I'm saying, the only niggas know. Niggas think because they build the pyramids, then, you know what I mean?
So.
Technology.
I'll drop it in the chat yet. I'll drop it in the chat yet again.
Like Corey, that was a good show as far as like we talk about astronomy. You feel me? That was dope. You feel me? Like you can get astronomy. Yeah.
We build on that. We keep building on that. That's a never-ending byproduct. Like that gives us never.
So this is from pubs.ats.org, and I'll go through and I'll read a few of them. The Egyptians were known in the ancient world as experts in many applied chemistry fields, such as metallurgy, wine and beer making, glass making, paper manufacture, paint, pigments, dyes, cosmetics, perfumes, and pharmaceuticals. They made significant developments in the extraction of metals from their ores, especially copper and gold. The Egyptians developed a writing surface from the papyrus plant and used naturally occurring inorganic salts as paint pigments. They also made the first synthetic pigment, Egyptian blue, developed as early as 3000 BCE. The Leiden and the Stockholm papyri give information on numerous chemical processes dating to about 300 CE, but copied from earlier sources. This article describes an overview of the various chemical activities that took place in ancient Egypt, from which it can be deduced that the ancient Egyptians were among the first practicing chemists. In fact, the word chemistry can be traced to the name the ancients used when referring to ancient chemists, to ancient Egypt. That's just one source. Hello.
Right. Okay. Let's go. I'm just going to read to like I said, we talked about chemistry, right? And I told the distinction. I said you can go back to Babylonia. I can't remember. I think it predates what you just read about Egypt, right? Making cologne and shit like that. If you want to label that as a science, okay, cool. That's science.
I mean, technically, again, it doesn't have to be the advanced science that we practice today. It was a primitive version, just like their society doesn't look like our society today.
Like I said, what Corey gave an example of the royal blue.
So the
royal blue, we're making a royal blue dye. That's science.
Yeah,
I'm not going to argue that.
Hold on.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to argue that. Then let me
read something about the royal blue dye, because I actually read something interesting about that. Their pigment.
I'm familiar with the royal blue dye, but let's say it's saying the history of chemistry represents a time span from ancient history to the present. By 1000 BC, civilization used technology that would eventually form the basis of various branches of chemistry. You know what I'm saying? So even though when they made the cologne, they had what's called a distillation process. You know what I'm saying? But the reason that they don't really consider it chemistry because what we consider chemistry is a lot more mechanisms involved in what we consider chemistry. That's why when they go back, even though you may have a component here, a component there, they don't say that's full-blown chemistry because you got.
Well, as far as what I read the other night, they have recently reanalyzed some of the makeup, and they found that this process that they took to make the makeup took weeks because they had to create synthetic chemical compounds that wasn't found in the area.
Yeah, same thing with the cologne. Was a distilling process where you put the alcohol.
No, it was beyond the distilling process.
I'm talking about cologne. It's a fragrance that they use. It's a chemical compound that they put on when you rub it on your skin. The alcohol remains on your skin. The alcohol fades, but the scent remains. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I don't.
Well, I was actually reading something interesting because they actually talking about potentially recreating the dye to use in medical imaging.
Yeah, you can if that's what you want to. You can go back 100,000 years. You get the same. You know what I'm saying? And find chemistry.
Yeah, they was doing it in the cave.
What niggas doing caves? Yeah, it would die.
Right.
Exactly.
With the different ores that they used to use to make red.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the shit is on cave walls 70,000 years ago.
Yeah, 100,000.
Yeah, we wouldn't call that them motherfuckers being chemists though. Like,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what about nitrate? What they use to preserve food and bodies?
And coming to find out, that was another compound too. Like Stu P said the other day, like, oh, that was something that was found naturally. They actually made a compound that preserved their dead.
For the embalming?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And for food, not just for the embalming, for food.
Yeah. So I mean, so that's
can we read Assad's post again?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not gonna argue with the proto, like it just be proto.
All of this devolved from Assad's post. And somehow we didn't understand something in Assad's post that he wasn't making a claim that he actually made. And these niggas just keep jumping out the window and then acting like we don't understand what they're saying. When they're doubling down on the shit.
I implore everyone to go look at Assad's post, which is under his community tab. If you on, I guess, a cell phone or whatever, it's under his community tab on his wall. Someone else can, you know what, matter of fact, I'll see if I can, because I'm on my phone, see if I can share it on my screen from my phone.
Let me see, you said
I don't know that science is making a distinction between the Big Bang and the Big Bang Theory like that. I don't
yeah, that was crazy.
Like that. I
can pull up Wikipedia.
I don't think Assad was making a distinction. I didn't read it as he was making a distinction either. Like he wrote what he meant. Like it's always like it's some esoteric meaning that we just ain't trained. Our ears ain't trained to hear.
I don't think it's an esoteric meaning at all. I think when you put quotes around something,
right,
and you leave out certain words,
scientists. He's quoting the scientists. He put the quotes so because he's talking about the creation of the universe or the universe. He put the quotes
because he's talking about Big Bang, not Big Bang Theory. No, if he wanted to put quotes around Big Bang Theory, he could have did that. Because that's what they call.
Hold on, let me explain.
So the Big Bang is a quote. So that's why.
Yes, that's why he put the quotes because he's talking about the Big Bang.
Why didn't he put the quotes around the first Big Bang?
Amber. Hold on. The Big Bang is explaining how the universe works, right? So he just put in quotations, Big Bang is what we call it. That's what we call it, the Big Bang. But it's actually the explanation of how the universe works.
I'm finna pull it up. I'm finna pull it up.
There's no other type
I don't know
of
what else you could get out of that. Like you can't mean that it means two different meanings of Big Bang like that. There's no way I'm gonna get that out.
No.
Our conversation is not.
I'm gonna pull it up and I'm gonna pull it up.
When we're doing these shows, Amber, we don't have a hiccup in the language that he's speaking. Like that's not. He's not saying you're talking about Big Bang Theory. I'm talking about no. That's not the point.
Yeah, that's not what he argued. He's
That's
not
not what he's
arguing.
He's not arguing at what
Yeah.
you're trying to bring up.
That's another thing.
He's saying they use logic, and in their explanation, he's talking about fields and the universe comes from expansion, and atoms, and this is the word for atom. Like he's not talking about what you're talking about. All you gotta do is watch him.
Can y'all see my my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
There go right there. She gonna make him mean what she mean. She don't.
Right. I'm gonna read.
She ain't gonna listen to his presentation. Understand what he said.
No, hold on.
She gonna make him say what he said.
Now, if we first of all, I'm not even talking about fucking the SAR. If we being, I haven't seen the SAR's presentation. Hold on, I haven't seen the SAR's presentation, so I was never even talking about a SAR. What I began talking about was Wu Jiawu and him being on the show and how you all were arguing against something that I did not hear him say. You all then said he said it on at other times, and the SAR was saying and this and the third. Only reason why I even went to the post is because Chef Free said, "Hey, go to the post. This is what I'm talking about." I'm not around here looking up. The only reason why it's even something that I'm discussing is because it was on Unbiased. The shit went down on Unbiased show. Outside of that, I wouldn't be knowing about this. I wouldn't be talking about this. It wouldn't be on my mind. Yeah, let's definitely get to it.
We ain't saying
join me on Tuesday, January 11th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time at the Mbongi as we discuss Big Bang Theory in ancient Kemet, Egypt. Why there are no parentheses or quotation marks around Big Bang Theory here. And among, because y'all said that of it, and
why did you have to interject that into there?
Just read the post.
Now you just fucked it up.
I didn't just fuck it up.
You did because you interject. Now I don't even know what you're talking about no more.
Okay, so let me start from the beginning, and I won't interject. I just have to be responsible for the audience. Join me on Tuesday, January 11th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time at the Mbongi as we discuss the Big Bang Theory in ancient Kemet, Egypt, and among the modern Bankogo people of the Democratic Republic of Congo. This discussion is in response to a recent series of online debates regarding whether it is correct to compare and argue that indigenous African societies developed independently a theory of the quote-unquote Big Bang, as understood in the standard model of modern astrophysics.
Okay,
my argument is...
What did he just say right there, though?
I think he's referencing the Big Bang, without the theory, just the idea that
there's no difference, Amber.
So if there's no difference, then why didn't he put the quote unquote Big Bang around Big Bang?
Maybe
so you think Big Bang Theory that he referenced at the top, Big Bang Theory with no quotes, which means he's actually referencing the theory, is different than the Big Bang that he referenced later on.
There is no difference. You're making it Amber.
Sometimes if we're talking about the Big Bang, like I'm gonna say, yo, they don't understand the Big Bang. I'm still saying the Big Bang Theory. I'm just saying the Big Bang because we just do that sometimes.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pull up something else. I'm gonna quit sharing my screen.
No, we just
I don't understand.
I'm gonna quit sharing my screen for a minute, and then I'm gonna pull up.
I want to deal with a star because we keep going to see side damn alleys. What a sergeant? What
did we read that makes us believe that the Big Bang is two different things? Like, what did we? I'm trying to figure. Yeah, because I missed that part. I missed.
Amber, read it again. Amber, put it on the screen.
No, I won't read it. Read
the star post.
Yeah, let me read.
I don't know about. I just want to know how we figured out that the Big Bang. We gonna get there, Corey.
We gonna get
there. I just want to read it
real quick.
Nothing in it. I just want to read it, and I don't want to stop. Right? Let me read it. Join me on Tuesday, January 11th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time at the Mbongi as we discuss the Big Bang Theory in ancient Kemet, Egypt, and among the modern Bikongo people of the Democratic Republic of Congo. This discussion is in response to a recent series of online debates regarding whether it is correct to compare and argue that indigenous African societies developed independently a theory of the Big Bang as understood in the standard model of modern astrophysics. My argument is yes, we can prove it.
But Chef, you
Shit.
know,
I don't know how you say
hear
but after that. I don't know how you say but.
So the
Can I say
reason why I say it's something different is because at the end, this is a SARS video.
Chef, can you hear what he
It's
said
because
though, Chef?
do y'all understand that? Do y'all understand punctuation though?
Nah.
Right, we know
Do
it's
y'all
about
understand
punctuation.
punctuation and the purpose of it?
So
and
somehow
when,
we ain't understanding
Right.
I
punctuation.
understand
We don't
punctuation. I
understand
understand what
elementary
quotation
grammar.
No, I
marks
don't
are.
understand. I don't understand
Elementary grammar.
punctuation. If it's
Can I say
something in the
something?
punctuation that changes the my current understanding, I need to hear this.
Yeah, I mean, the quotations are quotation marks.
He said a few
Somebody
things there,
said.
Sosa, he said a few things there. He said, is it right to compare?
Yeah, he said yes, and he can prove it.
And he said
And he
yes,
said,
and
yes,
he
he
can
can
prove
prove
it.
Listen,
Right.
So he's saying,
Come on, Fitz.
so
I
saying,
mean, I don't get you. I don't understand, Fitz. What you saying here, bro?
Wow.
Come on now.
I'm with you, Corey. But in his wording, he's very good. He says, is it right to compare?
Why does it have to be that hard?
So-
Hold on,
So you're
Fitz.
saying
Let me
that
ask
he's
you
being
this.
ambiguous with
How
his
come it has to be this
Listen.
hard to understand what these dudes is talking about?
They might as well write the metal
you
nut.
stepped outside of yourself and asked yourself that? Like,
And
whoa,
you watch the
this
show.
is crazy.
I don't think it's
This
hard
is
at all.
crazy to me.
I don't think it's hard.
These niggas, they might as well write in metal nut.
We reading all kinds of shit into what they
Right.
wrote down.
Do you think Asar is saying that the Congo understood how the universe works?
No, he is in his own biased way. But what he says in that post
No. He is right. He is right.
Okay, fine. Now, so we ain't crazy. Now you know we ain't crazy, right?
Right there, bro.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
But you know what he's doing? He's not put it into the science field. He said, is it right to compare the Big Bang Theory to the cosmology?
He did, because he said yes, because he can prove it. That's how he gonna put it in the science field. He gonna prove it. He gonna put it right in the science field, and he's gonna prove it. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Is it right to compare those?
I don't know how you.
The UK water, man.
You know what, Fitz? You know what I'm gonna say now? You know what? We stupid. The pseudo killers is the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. Period. Ain't no motherfucker dumber than us. It's there's no way you can show me somebody who's stupider than the pseudo killers. Ain't no way you can show me somebody.
Shit, yo.
I'll be real with you, yeah. I'm on your side, but
I just have a question. Like I have a question really quick. I have a question really quick, and then I'm done with this. Why? Because this is obviously bringing you all a lot of grief. Why is it this important to prove that you're right?
Because they saying we stupid. Everybody
it came to this. We didn't bring it here. All we said was a statement, and then that was it. And then now it came to this. You see what I'm saying? This is what we brought to.
So it's content for the podcast. Like
we can't read. We can't understand motherfucking articulation.
English grammar.
Everything.
Wait. So are we
don't understand
Are we
nothing.
gonna pretend that the quotes don't mean something?
That shit don't mean nothing.
They do mean something. They actually do mean something.
Amber, you acting like
it means what we call it. What we call how the universe works.
It's the title. But okay, so
when it comes to
what did Big Bang Theory? When he referenced Big Bang Theory earlier, what did that signify, and why weren't the quotes
same
around
thing?
that?
The Big Bang. I don't know why he did. That's what that wasn't.
Okay, all right. Now we playing crazy. All right,
so
I'm done with it.
He can't make a
you
mistake.
Think Big Bang and Big Bang Theory is two different things.
That's the point I wanted to get back to. Can y'all tell me that? How did we get there?
I'll pull up the Wikipedia article that describes it as being Big Bang and then Big Bang Theory.
Let's see that. Let's see that, because I needed to know. That's one thing I didn't understand. How did we get there? I did not understand that.
There's not two different things, Joe. That's
remember how we was talking about.
Right. Listen, I'm willing to be proven wrong anytime. I got an open mind. Like, if you pull up an article.
But listen, remember the other day, we was talking about how in the same article, right? You can hear certain words being used interchangeably, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they may say, like how they be like when we say, man, you know, the Big Bang says this. We don't say theory, right? But the theory is implied. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then we might go on and say, man, with the Big Bang. And so that happens. That's what they do a lot. You know what I'm saying? So you say, well, you know, when it comes to the Big Bang, and then, you're going to never say the Big Bang theory, it doesn't necessarily mean that the distinctions, because sometimes they're using words or terminology interchangeably.
The only Big Bang
I
I know is the Big Bang
theory. I just say Big Bang most of the time.
And that's the only Big Bang that I know. They put Egypt in it. They put the Congo in it. The Egyptians never said Big Bang. The Congo people never said Big Bang. The only Big Bang we know about is the modern Big Bang fucking theory.
Yeah, they never said Big Bang.
But he's saying they've got a creation story that correlates with it. Now they allowed to have
Big Bang. Are they allowed to have what the fuck?
They're allowed to have a creation story, but it don't correlate.
But you do realize that's why he's putting it in quotes, like quote unquote, like this is their version of the quote unquote Big Bang. Like how y'all keep overlooking it?
So why did he say yes?
Why did he say? Why did he go on to explain what he explained after that? Then
exactly.
What does that mean?
That's what we need to hear. We need to hear the
go
context.
On to explain what?
We heard it. He came on the show and we heard it. That's the point we trying to make. Like, he said what we said. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. Man.
Wait. Who are you talking? You talking about a star, or you talking about?
He argued with us about atoms and particles and all of this shit. Like all of the physics. Like he actually was bringing that to the Fitz. Like I don't get you, dude. Like what do you want me to say?
I didn't hear that, Corey. What did he say?
You didn't hear that? Okay, now you didn't hear that.
I can't say it. I can't say it enough. Like every time I say something, y'all add well, he said it on the show. Like, why y'all keep adding stuff to? Okay, that's cool, but
he did a whole presentation.
I've made it very fucking clear. I haven't seen the presentation and I haven't seen the show.
But you arguing as if you've seen it.
And
you act like you knew what he meant. And he's trying to tell you
not even saying what it's saying, Amber. You saying what we read.
So when I read the shit, I'm telling you from what
don't lose your voice, sweetheart.
Don't start bringing up other shit. He said it on the show. He said
we trying to bring context. We trying to bring context to the post.
I wait, hear that.
Amber, I couldn't even hear you, babe.
Every time y'all take me to something else, I go to it, I say, okay, I don't see what you say here. He said it over here. I ain't watched that shit. I haven't watched it.
Because you won't even accept what you read though. You saying it's different.
Mean, accept what I read. I'm telling you, I'm reading it and I don't see what the fuck
you saying the quotations mean something.
I don't read it the way you read it. The quotations mean something different to me. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not gonna read something and then you tell me interpret it this way. Nigga, I can only tell you the way I fucking interpret it.
Right. So then we can't help each other. That's it. You don't see it the way we see it. And that's fine. Maybe we stupid.
And we was only stupid. Adding like we only said, he said it on the show to add context to the post so that you have the other context of what he was saying. So that you can have the whole thing and then you can read the post
just
in
said,
context.
We've been talking about this for how long? All I'm saying is, when I ask you, okay, why do y'all feel that way? What could have been done, I ain't gonna say what you should have did. What could have been done is, well, on this date, when we had this conversation, he made a statement about atoms. He made a statement about this. He made a statement about that. And it did. Okay. No, I was never told that. And it did. He made a post.
Well, we did say that though.
Irrelevant.
Lead me to believe that he's doing this, but you showed me. He made
now Fitz, because you gonna tell me he wasn't talking about atoms.
No,
you gonna tell me
I want to hear.
It's irrelevant, yo. We read the post.
I read the post. I read the post. Chef, what did he say about atoms? What did he say about atoms? Please, can we just get to that? What did he say in reference to atoms? Please.
I don't care what he said about atoms.
Corey,
You can read the post. What did he mean by the post?
You know, in the post,
he was trying to say that the Africans knew about atoms because even the Greeks knew about atoms. That's what he was trying to say. That's what he said, literally. Even the Greeks knew about atoms. They did this, and this, and this, and this, and this. He went on and on. I don't know every word for word what he said in his presentation, Fitz. I'm sorry. You have to go back and look at it.
I'm gonna have to watch
that's basically it
that
in a
does
nutshell.
sound pseudo. That does sound pseudo to me. Now,
so
you saying
the
that
post
to me,
that we read didn't sound pseudo.
So it took me to say that to make you say it sounds pseudo, Fitz.
No,
come on, man.
What
Cut
we're
that
reading,
out.
as I said, Corey, what we just read from that post, he used the words very slightly. He said,
flim flam.
Right?
So he was flim flamming.
It wasn't no flim flamming.
Like,
he was flim flamming.
No, y'all keep forgetting that from certain people.
He said he used the word slightly, and to me that means flim flam.
He said,
to me that means flim flam.
Is it right to compare? He said, because of recent arguments online, is it right to compare our cosmology to the Big Bang Theory? And he said yes. He did say yes. Now that's
and he gonna prove it. And he said, and he went farther and said he's going to prove it. And he went to talking about atoms.
So Fitz, what are you having to
hold on? Y'all forget that when you're privy to certain information, like you're gonna look at certain things different because you have additional context that other people do not have. So when I'm asking you, okay, well, what's going on? Like, why y'all feeling this way? I ain't watching none of the shows. I made it very clear. Only thing I seen was Bujawu. And that's what I was speaking to.
We told you he talked about
I know y'all told me that he said other things, but you never went into what he said. What I'm saying is if you're going to present something and say, okay, well, this is why I feel like this shit's pseudo. The nigga said something about atoms on this show. He said this, that, and the third. He said this, that, and the third on his show. Then he brought up this person. And then he made this post. Then you set up premises for why you're making you're lining it up. Versus saying, look at this post. Don't that shit sound pseudo? No, I don't see that. I don't see what you see. Then you get mad at me
the Big Bang has to mean two different things for it not to sound pseudo to you, though. You have to admit that, though, Amber. The Big Bang has to mean two different things for it not to sound pseudo to you. Am I correct on that?
I think there's a distinction between Big Bang, which is the point from which the universe
that's the criteria
and the theory around it.
But that's the criteria that you have to meet in order for it to be considered not pseudo, right? Like it has to be two.
You have to meet?
There has to be two meanings to the Big Bang.
No,
you gotta have Big Bang and Big Bang theory. You gotta have that.
I would look at the Big Bang as the event, right? The beginning of creation. And then I would look at the Big Bang Theory as the explanation to all of that. Not that they are distinct, not that they are Big Bang Theory is separate, but that Big Bang is just one piece of Big Bang Theory that talks about the event, and then the theory talks about everything surrounding the event, how it came to be, and what happened immediately after that.
When Wuja explains new, he's talking about the event and everything that happens after the event. He said that the gods represents the elements. He's going further into the explanation of it. He's not stopping at just the universe starting at expansion point. The conversation will be right there. They're saying that no, they keep going. They understand the field.
He talked about the neutron soup. It was
theory.
But we miss everything,
no. But we
the craziest ones. We crazy.
But no. But see, so how I would justify that is the same way that Big Bang is part of Big Bang Theory. It's the event. I would say he's saying that okay, it started from a single point, so that's the Big Bang, right? And it's not even, again, if you listen, Big Bang, this is why he's saying no. Big Bang Theory, no, not the Big Bang Theory. But does it have some similarities?
He said that there are things in the Kikongo and in Egyptian that mirror aspects of the Big Bang Theory. He said they said this over and over again. We understand that part. That's what he's saying.
Right. So, but he also said that he's not saying that that they knew what the Big Bang
That's the
theory
flim flam
was.
Big Bang.
Right.
See? That's what I'm saying. Like now you see
if
the
y'all would
So he
finish letting me,
bullshitting Amber,
if y'all
not
would
us.
finish letting me talk, I would, like
My
y'all keep
bad. Go
cutting
ahead.
in.
Go ahead, A-Ball.
Like it made me feel like y'all don't want me to get this out.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, Amber,
Hey, Amber, you cut in too now. Like, stop it. You be cutting in.
I do cut in, but again,
In the
I
middle
was literally like.
But you made a good point though.
That's what cutting in.
That was the flim flam Big Bang though, right there.
So
Go ahead.
So for me, the Big Bang, right? If we're looking at the Big Bang as a separate event, like this is the event, and then the Big Bang theory is the explanation. That is what is quote unquote scientific and current. The Big Bang is just the idea that everything comes from a single point and expands and all of that, right? Then the theory is the collection of facts that support that.
There is
right?
all of that. There is all of that. Everything that everything that's in the Big Bang is in the Big Bang theory. If you're trying to separate, there's no difference. Everything in the theory encompasses all of it.
Encompasses all of what?
The entirety of the event.
Right, but can we get back to that singularity?
They're going beyond that. Matter of fact, they're going way beyond that. Way, way past that. Atoms, matter, soup, elements, the forming of the earth, heating and cooling of the earth. They're going way beyond that.
I understand, Sosa. I'm not talking about that. I'm asking a question. So, Big Bang in itself, the event, Big Bang, the theory around it that science explains. Did they go beyond? Can they go all the way back to Big Bang?
They go beyond the singularity. They go beyond that. They go further first where science doesn't go. We don't know past that.
What?
They go past, we stop. We know where it started at. But in Wajaru's explanation, he knows before the Big Bang.
No. He's explaining everything that happened afterwards.
Oh, not before?
No, not before.
No, he said before that. He said before that, Jeff.
Yeah,
I guess this
He wilded than I thought.
Well, because they talk about the hot dense, the density of the. He said that's a fire super. I can't remember the exact word.
This is why I say that I feel like there's a disconnect, because the theory part of it, right? I feel like Wujawu was saying. I feel like Wujawu was saying, yeah, it's similar in the aspect because we both, in theory, have a Big Bang. In our theory, we have a Big Bang. In the Big Bang theory, there's a Big Bang. We all feel like it comes from a singular point. In our creation story and the theory of creation, and in this modern theory of creation, what y'all call the Big Bang, the event Big Bang, we have one of those too. Now the explanation around that is different, just like because it's not scientific, and again, like Fitz said, they go beyond the event. They actually talk about the cause of the event or what have you. Whereas science doesn't do that, or they don't assert that as a part of the theory itself. They kind of stop it where, okay, well, we know that this happened and the Earth is expanding, and
however many milliseconds. What is it, Fitz? What is it? The milliseconds?
Something silly.
It's the 10 to the negative 43 that I keep talking about.
10 to the negative.
It's a 0 with a decimal point with like
not
700 zeros after it. So, you know what I mean? And then you get to a number like after the 700 zeros after the decimal point or some shit. Like it's crazy. It's a crazy, ridiculous number. But a
number you couldn't fathom.
So
it's the Planck. It's a Planck time. A Planck. The smallest measure of time that we can measure is a Planck second.
Yeah.
So for me, now I'm not saying are people trying to be ambiguous and this, that, and listen, whatever they want to believe is what they want to believe. I do feel like they're talking about their beginning as the event Big Bang and not saying or even trying to say that it's the same as what science is explaining happened. They're saying, listen.
No, they're saying that
but that's not what he said, though.
It's the same as science explains it happened, but they didn't have the terminology, so they used metaphors to explain it in their way. But it mirrors it and it has aspects of it.
Yeah, they had to explain it like they was talking to a 9-year-old.
No, that's disingenuous. You got to say.
That's what they said. That's what he said verbatim. He said you got to explain it like you're talking to a 9-year-old. That's what he said, Fitz. Like, we not making this shit up. Like, I don't know why y'all think we just would lie on these guys. Man. Like, we not getting paid. I get paid to do construction, not lie on Wujawa and Asar. Like, that shit's crazy to me, man. Like, I wouldn't lie on them. For what? Like, that's crazy. It's ridiculous at this point.
You see, well, from the post, I saw it as he has the right to compare his cosmology to modern science. No one can say nothing to that.
Fine.
When you get into this kind of talk here, that's very ambiguous, as you said, and it's disingenuous to say that you just because you didn't have the words, you had that knowledge that we have today.
That's
he's coming into our.
We got him in writing though. He made a claim in the writing. I don't know how everybody.
I think this is what y'all been waiting on. I want to see a debate. I want to see Asar and Wujawu versus the pseudo killers. Asar son and Wujawu versus the
it's not even a debate. You have to be in a debate though. You got to be Amber. You already disagree. I think you're just trying to hold face for him, but like you already. I can hear.
I'm trying to hold
the disagreement.
I'm trying to hold what?
You're trying to hold face for Asar and Wujawu because
but now tell me, like you said, you're a construction worker. Explain to me why I give a fuck about that.
Let me explain.
Explain to me why I give a fuck about holding
construction worker explain.
Or Wujawu.
Amber, you cut in.
I am
because
he made an assertion about me, so I'm asking him to explain. Like he said, he's a construction worker, and he ain't finna explain to me why I give a fuck, and all I do is come on.
Now let the construction worker
talk
explain.
About various things. Explain to me why I give a fuck about saving face for them.
I've made an assertion about you. Now let the construction worker explain why he made that assertion about you. Because what I'm hearing, and especially in the questions that you ask, what I'm hearing is you already disagree with what they doing and what they said, and you don't believe a word of the shit they said. The problem is you disagree with the way we came at them. So to show us that we came at them the wrong kind of way and we should have came in a better way, you're going to show us where we didn't understand how we didn't understand the meaning of what they saying and this, that, and the other. That's what I call like saving face for them, not allowing them to be totally wrong as you know they are.
No, it's not. And
we have a better understanding of the context because we've been in dialogue with. It's like nobody has a better context of what they're saying than us. Because it's 2-3 videos, we've had conversations, we've done shows. Nobody has a better context than we do.
And again, I initially started out and had a whole conversation with Ankh on the show about why I personally felt like it was not successful. Not that there's not merit to your argument, but that I was lost as the viewer and what you all were arguing against when I could clearly hear him repeatedly say, no, they absolutely did not understand the Big Bang Theory. It's illogical.
But here's the trick. Why he's saying it's illogical.
And then he goes into explaining why they understood the Big Bang.
He's saying this is what he does. They did not understand the Big Bang Theory as proposed tonight. This is what he does, right? Because he's saying, how could they know that? Because that wasn't invented until 1929. That's the trick bag that he's using. You know what I'm saying? So, but when we say, that's why he's saying, when we say the Big Bang, we're talking about the beginning of the universe. We're just substituting the Big Bang because the Big Bang encompasses all that. You know what I'm saying? So he's being extra technical on that point, but then he's out. But when he gets to his explanation, he's showing how they understood how the universe came to be.
Mm-hmm.
So again, for me, it was frustrating because I heard those arguments in different ways during the live stream. What I understood him to mean, whether I agree or not, I understood him to mean that they had the ability to conceptualize a beginning that is somewhat similar to what we now know is as the Big Bang. Never mind whether or not it was scientifically based. Never mind whether or not it was testable or provable. Never mind that. He said, yeah, there are some aspects of it. And I kept hearing people say that was impossible, that was impossible. And from what I understood him to mean, yeah, it is possible. Now, if you're going to go and say they don't have tools or they didn't have a methodology for coming up with this was just serendipity and they just came up with an idea, or yeah, it's an idea, but that's a stretch. It applies to everyone. Again, not taken away from those arguments, but I kept hearing people saying that he was trying to say that what he was saying was Big Bang Theory, and I just wasn't hearing that come out of his mouth. I understood it to mean something different. I didn't feel like he was making that claim. Like I said, I'm not saying y'all didn't have reason to believe it, because I'm not knowing of all of these 3 and 4 shows that y'all had where other claims have been made or other things have been stated. I was just saying, for what I was watching, what I was hearing, I didn't hear what was being heard or argued against. That was my initial reason for like, well, I feel like next time, if this is what he's saying and this is what he means, can you get him to nail that down and then argue against that? Because it just kept sounding like y'all was talking about 2 separate things. He was talking about A, you was talking about B. That's what I kept getting.
I said what? He said, I said, like the math. He said the Egyptians have something called a heka or some shit he was saying as a mathematics. So he's saying, yeah, he's saying all that, bro. They had it, they had the tools and all, you know what I'm saying, using, and had the type of math that they use to calculate that shit. And it goes,
I mean, he said they can see Sirius B. I mean, I ain't like,
and that's just dead.
What else do you expect? Like, it's only one way to see Sirius B. We can't. It's not like we can use a expensive telescope on the Earth. We can't use expensive telescopes that's sitting on the Earth. You have to launch a telescope in order to see it, and it's in the infrared spectrum, because it's not a nuclear. It's no more nuclear fusion going on. So there's no. It's not emitting any light. It's only emitting heat, and you can only see that through an infrared spectrum. You see what I'm saying? Like that. That's all we saying. Like we not.
Yeah, that was a good
we
show
ain't trying
too,
to
like,
go crazy. Like he actually said that though, and we just saying like, no, you can't. Now we the bad guys, and we anti-African because we said no, you can't see Sirius B, because them white folks went over there and lied on the Dogons. The ancient aliens.
Now you know why I said that I feel like it be anti-African. Now I don't know about nobody. I can only speak for me. But the whole blackology and the vitriol that be a little somewhat skewed.
The blackology is not directed at Africans. That's directed at African Americans.
African Americans.
Nothing to do with Africans. That's these African goddamn Americans.
That's making erroneous claims about Africa.
And Von Daniken and them too. Like how can we shoot Von Daniken and them down, right? The white boys, right? How can we shoot them down as if they disrespecting our ancestors? But when a black person do the same thing, when an African American do the same thing that Von Daniken do, right? Now we anti-African. Like, no, it don't matter what skin color you is. When you're doing wrong, that's wrong. It don't matter what color your skin color is. If Von Daniken wrong, then Asar Imhotep is wrong.
Well, I think it's, first off, it's the idea that, because to me it's kind of wrong to tell someone, "Wow, I don't subscribe to that. You're wrong." Like it's almost like y'all trying to civilize them. Y'all trying to civilize them in the right way of Africans. y'all over there with them Egyptians.
We saying it's pseudo. That's it. That's right. Period. That's all we saying.
But again, because you feel like there's a better thing that they should be doing. You feel like
I just think it's pseudo. I don't care what they do. They can continue doing it. We called it out one time, and they made 10 videos. We made one video, and then we did a show with a star about it. That was it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then they continue on and on and on and on and on about it. Like, we didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? That was them.
I'm gonna retire it because I have talked about it several times. I've talked about it with Corey and Chef and Ankh and Unbiased, and the only person I don't think I've talked about it with is Wujawu.
But at least give us one thing though, Amber. Like, be like, you know what, y'all, I understand y'all. Can we get that? Because like you understand Asar and you understand Wujawu and you understand everybody else, but you don't understand
that the other day. I told Ankh that the other day. I can completely understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, I feel like
it's always got to be a but though. Like you don't do that for Asar.
Yeah, it is a but. I have a critique for everyone. I'm not sorry, you didn't know.
You only got defense.
I haven't talked to Wujawu. I'm talking to you though.
Yeah, but you have defense for them.
You defending that.
You don't have any defense.
The whole point is I'm not defending, but see when I'm not bashing and when I'm just being unbiased and I'm saying, I think it's a way that y'all didn't look at it.
Shots at us and everything.
Yeah, we definitely
can't even understand elementary grammar.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, Amber.
Those shots.
Right. Okay. Hold on. Let me get this right. You said basically Wayne understand what they were saying. We putting words in their mouth. Wuja wasn't saying that. Then you said, I don't watch y'all shit. You know what I mean? I don't go over there. I don't watch y'all shit. I don't like I don't like the content. You dig what I'm saying?
No, I never said that. I never said I don't like the content. No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, Chef Ring. If I said that, you think I would have a fucking problem saying it again? I said I don't even. No, I didn't say it. I said I don't even know what the content is. I said I don't watch the channel. I don't really know what the content is. But I'm gonna look at the
content.
No, I did not say that. What I did say is anytime I have seen or heard of pseudo killers on other shows, this typically like what y'all talking about. Y'all talking about evolution, or y'all talking about vaccines, or y'all talking about the Egyptomania shit. I never said I don't like the content on the channel because I haven't even watched the channel.
But that's what you were saying about the content though.
But that has nothing to do with the content on the channel. I'm saying the time where I see you all, when I'm exposed to y'all, it's around these different, that has nothing to do with the channel. I don't do that. I wouldn't shit on, even if I didn't like the content of the channel, I wouldn't say that. Like, that's not what I do. So anywho, at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, like, I'm not throwing shots. I'm just being honest. I did challenge y'all to consider that maybe y'all may be throwing some people off that may be receptive to y'all by being so, and I know y'all probably do it in just as a joke, by that blackology and and Egyptomania, and you know, they want to, like, if I was trying to really get people to support my content and I was really trying to get them to look at other places in Africa, and right now I know that they kind of tied to this, I wouldn't be as harsh with my criticism toward people who support or show reverence for that. I wouldn't do that because I understand that offending people typically ain't gonna get them to listen to you and rock with you. Now, if that's what y'all do, okay, that's cool. But I'm just saying,
we don't do that though. We have an open discussion about it though. We invite people on the panel, like we have everybody on the panel to disseminate all of their whatever their viewpoint is, and we let them get it out. And we critique it. Like, I mean, like,
this channel.
I mean, I assume that y'all
Nation of Islam on a daily basis.
Nobody trying
to hold them niggas hands.
Hold on,
it ain't African. Islam ain't African. No. Here's the difference. I don't believe in a religion. I don't have a channel where I'm trying to get people
to listen to my content, or like if I was actually trying to build a platform and I wanted people to listen to me, and I was going out and reaching out to Islamic people or Muslims, I would definitely approach that totally different. I don't have nothing I'm trying to get them to buy into. So at the end of the day,
Us either.
Okay,
we don't have nothing we selling. We ain't selling. Our channel ain't even monetized. We do the shit for free. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we ain't selling nothing either.
Not a product, but even if you want them to buy into
the content,
science over,
we just want them to enjoy the content. That's it. Like, if you enjoy what we doing, then come over there. If not, then don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, we say that also. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they I saw them on the fringe, man. Like, academia don't be agreeing with them. They trying to convince the world
with them
that
on
they
no
right,
point. On no
all
point.
Academia is fucking wrong. That's why we be bad.
They the only ones that got the information. Like, that's what we fight against, the charismatic leaders. Like, with the ones with you got to go through them to get the information. Like, they the initiates. You got to be an initiate in order to understand the meanings, because don't nobody understand these meanings but them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is crazy. That's cultic behavior. And that's what the pseudo killers is against.
The whole shit, all linguistics is wrong and need to be teared down and rebuilt.
Right. That's crazy.
And don't nobody understand the meaning of Egyptian words and concepts but Wujawa. We can pull the shit up and say, no, it says right here, and he will disagree. That don't mean that like that.
But nobody calls that out. Like, they'll call us out.
Don't mean what? Like what?
They don't call what Sheffrin just said.
Corey,
like, nobody calls that out, but they'll call the pseudo killers out for pointing simple shit out that you shouldn't even argue. Like, Queen Nzinga was dealing in the slave trade. Like, the pseudo killers got drugged through the mud, through the dirt, through everything in the world. We was the wrongest, craziest niggas who don't even understand elementary grammar. You know what I'm saying? Because we said Queen Nzinga dealt in slaves, man. She dealt in the slave trade. She had slaves and shit.
Corey,
that was off the chain, Fitz. Like, we was the most anti-African, non-dumbest niggas on the planet for saying that.
No, they were wrong in that one. We know they were wrong in that one. And the film, I don't
know. I don't know. It don't seem like we know they was wrong on that one. It don't seem like that.
The last show.
I'm gonna say peace to y'all. I'm still listening in the chat, but I'm gonna say peace. I'm gonna let y'all have it.
All right, peace, A-Bomb.
The last show that Unc was on with Wujaru, he called him out. He definitely called him out on that. You remember, Corey?
Who called him out? Who called who out?
Unc called Wujaru out on them, the slights of words and the way he uses them, and how he's softly spoken.
Unc did because we beat Unc to a pulp. You don't understand that. we beat Unc down to a pulp till he understood where we was coming from, and then he had to concede. That's what happened. Like, it's not like, and that's another thing. Like, people try to portray us like we all be agreeing. On shit that we say, and we all on one team, and we ganging up. Like, no, we all be pseudo as hell. Like, Chef, they laugh at me because I think you got to talk and touch your plants, and you got to play music to them and all that. They laugh at me and Sheffrin on that. They beat us up. They throw articles at us and all the rest of it. Listen, like, that's my belief, and I'm holding to it. Right? I'm not trying to push that belief in public, though. You know what I'm saying? That's just something we discuss in a private conversation, but they actually beat me to death on it, though, right? They actually beat me up on that. So, like, I just be wanting people to know, like, this is not an echo chamber. We ain't don't agree and all of that kind of stuff. Like, me and Sheffrin go at Unc all day, every day. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I know that, Corey. Look, they're going at me for saying perspective, because I keep saying to you guys perspective, but
that's a pseudo word to me. I've come to determine that word is actually pseudo. That only a pseudo would use that word.
I don't fuck with that word no more.
I'm done with that word now. Yeah. Only a pseudo would use that word.
It got wanted to goddamn get rid of take the Unc off his name. He
right.
You know, get the Egyptian out of Unc. Like, you know what? I'm Bobby, man. Like, he finna go back to Bobby West and shit.
Go back to Bobby West.
Shit crazy.
Because it's crazy.
I see why they frustrate you guys, cause you guys see it as, I know what we know they have a bias towards their cosmology or their religion or ideology, and then slyly putting it in the scientific realm, but they're not.
The flim flam bim bam. They flim flamming and bim bam. We keep saying it. Like, just because we say it simply, right? We use words like flim flam bim bam. Like, y'all discredit us for it not to be what it is, but it actually is what it is, though. Like, just because I use that word don't make it not what it is, though, Fitz. Right? Am I correct on that?
True, you're right. But then, as I can say, the word you call pseudo, they can always turn around and say it's our perspective. We're not putting it in the science realm. It's our perspective.
After they put it in the science realm, of course they can come back and say, no, we ain't putting it in the science realm. Like, it's crazy, Fitz. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's batshit crazy, bro. We can't. That's what we're trying to get away from, the trickery, the batshit crazery. You know what I'm saying? The Von Danikins in them, the Malachi Yorks, the all of these charismatic leaders that only know you have to be initiated in the cult to actually have an understanding of what it really means.
True understanding only come through them.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. We fight again. We the pseudo killers, man. You can't be mad at us for that. Y'all can't be mad at us for being the pseudo killers. You know
the only reason why, and you know me, even though I agree with a lot of what you say, I try to be fair. And the only reason why I give Wajaru and Asar their props on this is because they can actually read the language, which I can't. So what
do that mean? You can't play basketball like LeBron, but you ain't gonna go on the bullshit. If he tell you some bullshit, you ain't gonna go for it. You know what I'm saying? Cut that shit out, Fizz, man.
No, I'm saying within their you see, in our realm, we could debunk what they're saying on our premise of saying, no, that scientifically, that doesn't work. But if I could read the language and see what they're actually trying to say, then I could say on your realm.
You can get a translator. You can,
you can go to the experts.
Right. And look, listen, you can pull it up. You can pull it up on a computer and translate the words and actually know what the fuck they mean.
No, came at me repatriation land or some shit.
Oh, man.
That's some shit they came up with.
I don't know what repatriate. What the fuck? When you repatriate, it means you move back to your country, right?
Right.
I hope I ain't saying it wrong. Some shit like that. But it's they shit though. That's some shit that they made up. And I think our point is too, like, our point too, Corey, is like, I'm sick of YouTube niggas usurping the experts.
Right.
I hate that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can usurp the experts, nigga, get off YouTube and you can just beat them niggas up.
Right.
Right. Go to the job.
Go overturn academia.
Yeah.
Right. I'm cheering for you. You feel me?
Right.
Like, you got it, bro.
They actually academia actually be making jokes about Asar Imhotep. Like, it's crazy. Like, I mean, what do you want me to do about that? Like, is it my fault that they make jokes about it? Like, and if I point that out, if I point that out, I'm either anti-black or the white people is racist, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. They don't give an African a chance to give his perspective. It's like, dude, what you're supposed to be in academia with the perspective. You're supposed to bend and shut that down if that's the case. Like, I mean, but it ain't the case. Like, they're not listening to you because you black. People got to stop that, man. We got to cut that out because it's black professionals in the field. Like, it's actual black linguists that are in the field. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so we got to cut the bullshit, man.
So you're saying he's made his own interpretations on the language.
He made it up. He made it up. Period.
Okay.
Period.
We can't find it nowhere. What do you want us to do about that?
Chef, you're vicious. You know,
you're the only one got the information. That's what I'm saying.
Chef's just out to debunk everything, whereas Corey and Sosa, you have a bit more. You know, you kind of
no. Chef just a little more blunt than what we is. Like,
I like
pretty much
though.
agree with everything. Like not everything, but like most of, like when Shepard be going in, like we done had the discussion already. It's just that I'm gonna wait till, you know, somebody say something and then I might comment on it. That's how I get the conversation started. Chevron just gonna come out with it. Like that's just him. He's from Baltimore. You gotta excuse him.
Hey, Fitz, when it comes to the doggone bearing witness to Sirius B, do you think a star is going to back down and say, "Nah, there's no way they could have known about Sirius B," or do you think he's going to double down and said they was able to observe it, or he's going to give an explanation of how they
didn't see it, but they knew about it? That's what he said.
I honestly don't know how he could see Sirius B. As you said, we couldn't have seen.
He didn't say they saw it.
He said they knew about it.
He said they knew about. See, Fitz. See that proves to you. I'm not going to allow nobody to lie on him. Right there.
I don't know. How does he say they knew about it? It's only an observation thing. You could.
That's what we're trying to figure out, Fitz. That's what we can't figure that out. Like you knew about it. You didn't have no telescope. You can't see in the infrared spectrum. You said you didn't. He said they didn't see it. He said with his own mouth that they didn't see it. So how they knew about it, Fitz, you got me, boy. If you can figure that out,
that's ancient alien.
I'm gonna send you a prize. If you figure that out, Fitz, I have a prize for you coming in the mail, bro. Just let me know when you figure it out.
I don't think he could have figured it. I don't think they could have
figured
it
old boy, like seeing old boy telescope though. Shit. Yeah. That motherfucker had me want to look up in the goddamn sky. One of them motherfuckers like, God damn.
Yeah,
that was a bad telescope. That's a bad boy right there.
He fucking around
and you can't see Sirius B with that.
I know, right? I can see the goddamn Jupiter. I'm like, holy shit.
You can't see it with your eyes. You're right. You can't see it. You need a special telescope to see.
You have to launch it outside of the atmosphere of the Earth.
Yeah. Way too much artificial light, and you have to, as Corey said, you have to get way out to see that. So I don't know. Maybe they thought
the temperature have to be a certain temperature so you can see the infrared spectrum, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to be close to absolute zero. Yeah, go ahead.
You're right. You see, I didn't hear all of that. Serious. That's a bit, See,
Fitz, we don't just lose it on niggas like that though. Fitz, like, why would we just lose it on them like that? Though? That's cold-blooded. Why that y'all would think we would do something like that though?
I don't think you do, but we know from our standpoint that since the Nzinga, even before that, we've been having a back and forth. And they use their words very, very carefully in what they're saying.
You know what I think that mean? You know what I think that mean, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that means flim flam bim bam. When the words very carefully thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the flim flam bim bammer.
Yo, how much did you pay for that telescope?
He said he paid a couple thousand, like $1,000 for it. He paid $1,000 for it. That's why I'm getting
one of them.
That's why I'm getting one. Yeah,
I got computers cost more than that.
Yeah, I'm looking at five. When I looked at that, I saw 5,000 immediately. That's immediately what I thought to myself. But he said he paid a band for it.
What telescope's that, Corey?
He got a telescope, a reflector telescope, which has a big mirror on there. It's a 12-inch. He got a 12-inch mirror on his or whatever. Unc showed his is a refractor telescope.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Yeah, the motherfuckers, you hook them motherfuckers to your computer.
Yeah.
Punch in the star and that motherfucker.
You're supposed to mount that though. Like that was supposed to be mounted on your roof. You know what I'm saying? That's what's crazy about that one though.
Yeah, I don't even think my community allow me to mount a shit on the roof like that.
I'm mounting mine. I'm getting mine. I'm mounting that motherfucker.
We got ordinances and shit. We can't.
Yeah, we do too, but I ain't going. I ain't fuck that. You know, they got satellites on their roof. They can let me have a telescope.
Do you not have nice clear nights out there? Is it very light pollution? They got a lot of light pollution.
Where I'm at, it's not. It's not like inner city like Chicago. So like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little out there a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
can see some shit on a clear night. Like I can really see some real nice stars, like with the naked eye. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. What about you, Chef? You're in the inner city, ain't you?
Yeah, I can't see shit. I look up. I don't even look up. don't even look up, yo.
It's like being in Chicago. Like shit, you can't even see nothing. Never.
We don't even got lightning bugs no more.
Man, you know what, Sheffrey? I was talking to my wife about that this summer, man. I'm like, because we out in the backyard and shit and the kids playing. It's like I'm asking my wife, I'm like, babe, where the lightning bugs at? Like, it ain't no lightning bugs no more.
I ain't seen lightning bugs in years, but I went camping a couple years ago, and the camping site was lightning bugs everywhere.
Man, it's like, man, we done killed off all the lightning bugs.
I ain't seen that here either in long.
Exactly.
What are we doing to our planet, though, man? Where we ain't hardly got lightning bugs.
Site to see lightning bugs.
Yeah, that's cold, man. We doing wrong, man. We doing wrong, man. Doing wrong.
We're damaging it faster than ever.
Yeah,
that's lightning, but I don't know when the last time my kids or anybody got stung by a bee. Like,
right.
That shit.
you know, they got, bees is big money, right? So motherfuckers, like people with apple orchards and shit, and I looked this shit up, it was crazy, man. People with apple orchards and big, things that need to be fertilized like that. Mm-hmm. The bees, like, they pay these beekeepers like $40,000 so that they bees can come out and pollinize the apples and shit for a week. Like, they making like $40,000 a week for doing this shit, dude. And they only got like 1,000 bees or something. Like, I mean, I say only, but like when you a bee thing, 1,000, that's nothing. It's not. It's not nothing. It's hardly nothing.
Right.
Like, it's only one of those little things because I work one
of those little boxes.
Yeah. And the shit crazy. Like, they don't even use bees hardly. Like, it's honey finna go up, so the price of honey gonna be so high because they need to use the bees for something else. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. It's nuts, man.
You're right, Corey. Bees are one of the detectors of how the nature is. When we lose bees and that pollination, that's bad. And that is they're artificially managed now. Like you said before, we could have them, as Chef said, we get stung by bees because them ones were just wild. Now you don't see them.
Yeah, we done swatted them all. We done went to the picnic and swatted them all away from the coleslaw and the potato salad, man. We killed them all. Trying to save the potato salad, we done killed the goddamn ecosystem. God damn it, boy. Y'all human beings.
When over summer come, we used to have ants everywhere, Corey. There used to be a problem. Now you hardly see them. You go.
No, we still got ant problem. We still got to get our house sprayed when the weather break because them ants, they're
fine. We got the black ants. Yeah. The big ones. When the spring comes.
You got to spray because them motherfuckers will find their way in.
Oh man. In the spring, it's like, where did they come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But then, like, we don't even get spray. Like, once it get like to the summertime, it stops. They calm down. Like, for some reason, I don't know. It's just the springtime when they get bad.
That shit crazy. I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I said, we get such a bad rap, for just trying to speak the right information. Like the try to put a halt to, hold on, we never heard this before. You dig what I'm saying? Like, we never heard that before. Why shouldn't we put a stop to that? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, and like I tell Unc, I say, y'all brought that to the community, yo. Like, y'all brought those checks and balances to the community. The same shit that we using on y'all, because don't get it wrong, Unc is Armin Raw Squad. Unc is Mossy Warrior Clan. Like, he's one of them. Like, we call him pseudo and shit all the time. Like,
yeah, like, I mean, we go at him hard. But the thing about Unc, though, and this is what I always saw in Unc, and he actually, like, that was the thing that really really kind of put me on to hearing his information. He always talked about the charismatic leaders, right? And being aware of that. But see, one thing about him is I done seen him multiple times change his mind. You know what I'm saying? Admit like, oh, I thought this, but no, it wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? He did that with the Darwin thing. He did it, I mean, with the slavery thing. He did it before we was even pseudo killers. He did it a couple times, succeeded to points, you know, and just let people know, like, I was here at one point, but I grew in my information. Now I have a better understanding of things. And now I have, you know, now I've changed my point of view, or, you know, changed the way I feel about a certain thing. You know what I'm saying? So I always, like, no matter what, like, I always know, like, when we show the real information, he gonna actually concede and be like, yeah, y'all, you know, y'all was right on that. Like, I appreciate that. Like, most people ain't doing that. Like, Asar will never say, like, you know what, you know, I went too far on that. Y'all was right. Y'all pulled me back in. I appreciate that. Whatever. They would never say nothing like that to us. They're always gonna talk about how stupid we is, and that I'm a construction worker, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm a barber.
I went to trade school though. You know, right. I gotta know. You know, you gotta pass geometry class. You gotta have a business. You gotta know how to do creative writing. All of that. Like, trade school is in depth. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I appreciate y'all reminding people that how I'm a construction worker, right, and how stupid I am. But you know what I'm saying?
I'm the same as you,
but
Corey.
They don't never even extend the bridge, bro, to where you can say, listen, I understand why you feel that way. You know what? You know, all right, listen, yeah, maybe it's a little bit of a stretch. You know, there's no give at all on any angle ever. You know what I'm saying?
We always stupid. We always crazy. The stupid ones.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Only on that shit. Everything else, we lock the load on everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know where they get us? Did you see how the Wajaro done it slickly on Unc the other day? Yeah, even though we know what we know, he's always gonna pull that one out. He said, Unc, what was the last book you read on this cosmology? And he knows we're not going into it in that sense. So it makes him look better in that way. And
yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's why I try to pull his ass out of Egypt. Because you're always gonna run to Egypt and hide, like, yeah, well, you know what? Because that's how you sell it to his people. Like, listen, man, you don't speak the language, like, you know what I mean? I guarantee none of y'all put the time in. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he's saying you don't have the right to question me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it always end up there though. Like, y'all gotta be able to see this. Like we can't be the only ones that seeing that. Like, every time there's a disagreement, it's us that don't understand. We don't understand esoteric meaning. We can't understand nuance. They told Sheffrin, Wuja just told Sheffrin the other day that he couldn't grasp figurative speech. And don't you know that Black people, that's the only way we speak is figuratively.
Yeah, that's the whole shit is figurative speech.
That's our whole thing. But he told Sheffrin he didn't understand Corey, that.
That's cap.
That's definitely cap.
And nobody says, Wuja, yo, not only was that disrespectful, but that's untrue. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Nobody pointed that out. But if Sheffrin would have said that, it would have been so easy to jump all over Sheffrin and be like, yo, this nigga tripping, and, you know, this and that, he anti this, he a Muslim, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy to say that. Like, I don't get it though, man. I just don't get it, man. You know what I mean?
The Muslim, the barber,
yeah.
It's just everything. We don't understand this. We don't
barbershop
talk. That. I mean, address us in writing. Now we're not writing books.
But here's the
As
thing,
if we can't write.
Them niggas got regular jobs though.
When they say,
would y'all want an Egyptologist? This nigga go to work. Look at that. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, when they say address us in writing, what they saying is y'all can't write. We know y'all can't write. So that's what we're gonna bring the game to. We're gonna bring the game to writing a book or whatever. So like it's just so insulting and like, you know, like why? But when we do it, it's like, oh, why did y'all do that? They have the right to have their own feelings and opinions and this and that. It's like, damn, but when we say some shit, like it's all over us. Like,
but Corey, do you know what it is? Unc said it the same way. We know we're right, but it's frustrating in the sense that Wajaru's so swift with his calmness and his softly approach. So it seems like we're attacking him, even though we're attacking the information. So he gets one up over us in that sense. If we could just say to him, okay, it's your perspective. Now, in the scientific field, that doesn't work, Wajaru. Now, can you prove it in our field? Now, that's where he would have a problem. But because we are challenging him in his belief, which we don't know about, we shouldn't really have to know about. We just say, okay, that's your perspective. Yeah?
He still ain't proved that origin story is a goddamn scientific venture. You still got to prove that shit. You know what I'm saying? And all the shit that's in Egypt origin stories, you can find that shit across the globe.
That's what I said earlier, man.
I guess like, all the niggas are scientists now.
Cosmic eggs and
it's
primordial waters and
what fucking humans do.
Have you not been watching the chat? Amber saying that we need to get a debate. I think Lee said, Tarbo said that we're scared. I think they said y'all scared.
We already had a discussion with Asar though on the channel though. Like, why would we be scared? Like, I mean,
did it with Asar with Bujawu show,
right?
Like,
we let.
I mean, like, what are they? What are they gonna prove to us that the Dogon knew about the Big Bang? Is that what they're gonna prove in the debate or what? Like,
that's what we need to. That's what we need
to be about.
That's what we need to put the debate on. Did they know about it in the modern scientific explanation of it? That's what we need to do.
No, I want to know if the Dogon
prove it. So
I want to know if the Dogon see Sirius B. Prove that shit. I'm good.
Right.
All the dominoes fall with that.
Asar already done said that he done proved that the Egyptians and the Congo people had a Big Bang theory, you know, that can be mirrored with the modern Big Bang theory that's proposed by modern astrophysics. He said he proved that. You know what I mean? Now the thing that the Congo motherfuckers, now the Dogon people had a working knowledge and understanding of Sirius B, right? So, you know, I guess they went. He did a show the other day on that, and he was saying that the dude that critiqued the white guy that critiqued the white guy that said that they knew it was wrong because he wasn't initiated. He said the first white guy, Garal or whatever, he was initiated. So he had knowledge that was secret knowledge that was given to him, and he actually wrote about it. He said that the guy that critiqued him and said that the Dogon people didn't know shit about nothing about what the other white dude said, because he went and questioned the Dogon people about that claim that the white boy made that they knew about Sirius B. The white boy went behind him and he said that the motherfucking Dogon ain't never heard, don't know what I'm talking about. So obviously the first white boy was lying. So Asar says that no, the first white boy was initiated. So they're not going to talk to you the same way that they talk to him. Crazy shit.
Right. And then he tried to brush over that the dude been there. The dude spent 10 years over there now. He's like, yeah. He's like, okay, yeah, he was over there like 10 years or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold on, nigga, like 10 years? What you know what I'm saying?
And they just kept their shit tight-lipped.
Yeah, like he just talking to niggas in bars and shit. He's like, you can't just go talk to folks on the street and they gonna know. You know what I'm saying? That man did he spanned a net, you know what I'm saying? And got a bunch of wide range of communities to see if he can get remnants of the same shit. And he couldn't find it.
I'm not from Atlanta, right? If I come down to Atlanta, I guarantee you and your homeboys ain't gonna be showing me the operation, yo, or how y'all move. I get that. But after a while, if I'm observing, I'm gonna pick up on who doing what, yo. You feel me? That's just basic observation.
Right.
And then in 10 years, this nigga ain't gonna pick up on that. Get the fuck out of here, yo.
And he was saying like, because they gave Grial like a big funeral. They made him a chief when he passed, right? But you know, that nigga he brought money to the community.
Right.
I'm saying, he was like, the nigga fought on a war against the French. Of course they gonna deify that nigga like, yo, I fought with you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they could have just been feeding them shit. That's what I'm saying. Prove the Serious B. Because if you got to throw out the Serious B, then either Grial lied or they lied.
now the Dogon come from Egypt and all.
Oh yeah, that's why
I always gotta put Egypt in it, yo. They do that shit, yo. We're talking about the people in the Congo. They brought Egypt into it. Now we talk about the motherfucking the Dogon, and now they was in Egypt. Like this shit just don't stop. But we're doing this. You know what I mean? We're doing this.
Yeah, all roads lead to Egypt.
All roads lead to Egypt, yo.
That's what it's all about, man. You know what I'm saying? All his books. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to prove that West African had a
Egyptian connection.
Yeah, Egyptian connection. That's his main. Like, but he's already come up with his conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
What is the conclusion that they did?
Yeah. He's saying all that shit, all the Dogon, all that shit is Egypt. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit. All that shit is a transference into Egypt. He think that the Dogon and Egyptian were once the same, but when the Sahara dried up, the Dogon went one direction, and then what we call Egyptian today went in that direction. That's why they're the same. Like
that is, I've heard that. Apart from him, though, I have. It's a hypothesis that is true, but I haven't heard what his evidence is for that.
Probably Theophilo Bang. That's why I don't even let them use Theophilo Bang no more, because that's a nigga that they get all their cues from. You know what I'm saying? So they always refer to Theophilo Banger because they know that everything they say he agrees with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sick of that shit, man. I'm so sick of goddamn Egypt.
Yeah, that's
Sosa. That's your name, though. It's in your name, King Sosa.
Sosa's Egyptian?
Yeah, there was an Egyptian king called Sosa.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, there was. Wasn't there?
How did you just make that up?
I'm asking. I thought there was an Egyptian king called Sosa. Honestly,
maybe Seti or something. I don't know. I thought Sosa was Spanish.
Right. You just made a Egyptian.
L, you stop. I just thought, I didn't say that there was. I just was thinking there was one.
Nah, you said it was. You said it was a fact.
I did. I said there isn't there one called Sosa. I honestly thought there was a King Sosa. I don't really know the Egyptian so
probably
much.
In Portugal or Spain.
Okay. Well, I'm wrong. I just honestly thought that.
It's all good, man.
That's virtuous right there, Fitz. You say you're wrong.
Right.
We appreciate that.
I always say I'm wrong if I'm wrong. I will, definitely. Or I don't know.
A good thing that you brought up on the show is like when you were talking about how NASA made a claim and the Max Planck Institute was like, that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't understand, like, all the scrutiny that we do. That's how it works, bro. Like, if you offended by the scrutiny, then you in the wrong guy in that area, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Every time I hit the live, the whole chat, you wrong, chef. You're a Muslim. This, that, and the third. Blah, 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 blah.
I know. Them niggas they don't question nothing. It's just Saber. Speak Saber.
Right.
Teacher. Yeah, they don't question nothing. That's that shit. I'll be like, yo, these niggas is like goddamn drones or some shit, goddamn.
And that's the whole thing with the Egypt thing, because they hold it sacred. And that's what we going for. Like, you show me that it's sacred to you. I'm coming right for it. Hit full speed ahead, bro. That's it. Like anything that's sacred to me, that's what I expect.
Need that shit blown up, right?
Man, come on with it. Like, are you holding that sacred, homie? That can't be questioned. You can't question it. You can't ask no questions about that. Oh, we coming at that. We coming at it. Period. You know what I'm saying?
And if I do question it, the only reason I'm questioning it because I didn't read your book or I didn't take your class. You feel me? Like, the fuck?
And then that's what Max Planck and them did, right? They like, yo, man, we don't believe that, man. They told NASA, man, we don't believe a word you saying. Y'all faking at it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all lying. Did what they do. They launched their own shit, put their shit in the Lagrange 2 area, right? People don't really understand that. Y'all got to be writing these and looking them up because I don't want to keep sounding like I'm the expert, right? I'm trying to refer y'all to the expert. I'm trying to make y'all see how to look this information up. And with the technology that's going on, like the real science that's going on, like they put the Max Planck at the Lagrange 2. That's why it looked different from Kepler. Is that Kepler that got the No, it wasn't Kepler. It was
Is Kepler still online?
Yeah, Kepler's still online, I think.
Hubble.
Hubble done lasted longer than they thought. That's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, Hubble was made to be repaired.
We can't, your shit muffled, Corey.
Oh, my bad. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hubble was made to be repaired, right? So that's why it's lasts so long. Like this James Webb, we only get one shot at that. This one ain't made to be repaired. You know what I'm saying?
We only got 10 years on this one, right?
Yeah, 10-year life limit on it. You know, it may or may, 10 give or take. You know what I'm saying?
We've lost one, innit? There was one we lost, Corey. Went out far past Pluto.
I think that's Kepler. I think that's still online though for a while. They lost it.
Oh yeah, it's
and
gonna
it came
spark
back
up
online
when they get to a certain point.
Okay, I thought we lost it, but they've got it back.
Yeah, they pulled it back online, I believe. Yeah, but the one that saw the Max Planck, the one that not the Max Planck telescope, but the one that NASA originally saw the CMB with, I can't remember the name of that one, right? But yeah, that was not in the Lagrange 2 point. So that's what Max Planck wanted to do. He like, yo, we got to get out to the Lagrange 2 because it's too much distortion. You know what I'm saying? You got heat, you got activity going on in this, out here in this. You got to get it way far out there, way in the outer limits of the solar system. Of the solar system, so that it can be as close to absolute zero as possible. Now, absolute zero translates into negative 200 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius. Fitz might be able to help us out with the Celsius part of it. But yeah, that's what that's all about. You know what I'm saying?
The Celsius part, I wouldn't know. But you're right.
Y'all don't use that. Y'all use Fahrenheit?
Yeah.
In Europe? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought y'all used Celsius in Europe.
I don't know. I'd have to ask my wife. We could. I don't actually.
So like when it's 100 degrees outside, y'all reading that in Fahrenheit or Celsius. Like you don't realize that. You didn't know that or whatever.
I think it's Fahrenheit we use it in.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it is, not Celsius.
Yeah, I think we the only ones that use degrees and and the metric system out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we use inches. Y'all don't use inches over there.
No, they use meters.
The metric system.
Yeah, the metric.
Centimeters and meters.
Yeah. So definitely y'all use Celsius. That's what y'all measuring in. Y'all measure in Celsius. Because usually the countries that use the metric system, that's what they measure the temperature in Celsius. Usually, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, that shit a little bit more accurate than ours. I mean, science is universal in science. Because you get a reading, then, you know what I mean? Our shit a little clumsy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Our shit definitely a little clumsy. You can see it when you have to convert it over. You know what I mean? That's why, like in medicine, you know what I mean? They use it like they don't use, you know what I mean? You'll get CCs and all of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you get it's more accurate.
I'm just looking at it now, Chef. we use degrees, but I'm looking at a weather app and it does degrees and it's got Celsius as well.
Yeah, degrees Celsius. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's either degrees Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius.
Right.
Yeah. So both we use both degrees, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like if you people that's in the medical field and shit, they gotta, know both measurements.
Right. Yeah.
Because they giving out medicine and shit. Like so.
Yeah,
no
so they at my
somebody
last
up.
job, they got like a template where it's a conversion thing.
Yeah, it's a
like,
conversion.
You should be able to do it in your head, but they
yeah, they got it in the ambulance for them niggas.
Yeah.
You guys,
they shoot you up with something. they gotta know,
You guys use liters.
Yep.
Okay. I thought it was gallons.
Not really. We use gallons before we use liters, though. I mean, we know what a 2 liter is, yeah, but like we use gallons mostly. Yeah.
No, liters equals up to gallons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, liters.
When you talk about cars over there, we have 2 liter cars. When we look over there, we hear you buying in gallons. That's big.
Yeah, we buying
big cars and big driving, like 5 hours and stuff.
So y'all don't travel y'all don't like travel long distance, like 8 hours in a car or something like that. Like, that's like not.
My niece said to me the other day, Corey, that it takes something like 3 hours to get from where she was to New York. And I was like, 3 hours? If we drove 3 hours, we could drive across the Channel Tunnel and get to France.
Right.
And go into another country.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a lot of driving.
United States is huge.
Massive.
Yeah, it take me 10 hours to get to New York from where I'm at.
Yeah, 10 hours. It'll take me 11 hours to probably get to Corey.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I mean? It take me 11 hours to get to
Could you drive? You mean you drive that constantly? You could never do that constantly.
No,
No.
That's fucking crazy. 3 hours would be like you could do that constantly.
Three is my limit. I'm not driving no more than 3 hours. Like that's.
But a lot of people can make those commutes for work. You dig what I'm saying? Every day, but not no 11 hours. That's fucking crazy. No. That's truck driver shit.
So what about your train system? Don't they have like trains that can get you there faster?
No,
we ain't got a plane, but we got highways. We take, you know what I mean? Like I can drive to Atlanta, like Uncle and them doing a joint. I could either fly, I can catch a train, or I could drive myself. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the train will be much slower than
the train will be much slower.
It's not like y'all train. Y'all got the high speed.
9 hours if I drive.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, because you see, like if we was to go Scotland or Wales, which is in England, but they're separate countries.
Mm-hmm.
If we was to drive there, it would take longer, real much longer. But the train system, we get there in 2 hours tops.
Yeah, y'all got the high speed trains. We don't have them kind of trains that y'all got. Y'all more advanced than us on the train system.
Okay.
Yeah. Y'all use magnets and all. Y'all way up here with the trains and shit and the technology and shit. Like we trying to get there, but the oil companies is holding us back. So that's just another thing. Like you just kind of prove some other backward shit that we do in the United States. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the technology is there, but we not using it because the oil companies need to make money.
Yeah, Bill now talk about that. He killing on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that would save you a lot of money, and it's cleaner for the universe and for the
absolutely.
It's cleaner for us.
Mm-hmm. But we have these big oil companies that's saying no, climate change is fake, and we ain't worried about erratic weather patterns and such things like that. We don't care about the bumblebees and the fireflies dying. They just want to keep on producing they oil, fossil fuels or whatever. They want to keep burning them.
Over there, Corey, like over there, nearly every five cars you see on the road is electric or hybrid. So we're getting out of that. kind of mode?
We working on it. We see a lot of electric cars over here now. I wouldn't say, well, probably maybe I don't know. It's getting up there. I don't have a number to put on it, but we getting better with the electric cars. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's starting to be like more places where you can charge your car up and things like that. They start really make that available to the public. Like I would say like 5 years ago, like just a small number, like 5 years ago, that wasn't necessarily the case. At least in Indiana, in the outer city of Chicago. Not like when you go downtown, like, yeah, they got all the technology down there. You know what I'm saying? But the outskirts of Chicago, like they just now starting to get that. You know what I'm saying?
You see, like in our cities like London, where I'm at, and if you go to like Birmingham, the inner cities and in Birmingham and so forth, they've been putting out a lot of like electric bikes and electric scooters. They've took off over it. Electric scooters, everyone's on them. They're like everywhere. So
it's like that downtown in Chicago too, and in here it's starting to be more like that, like in the area where I live at too. I live in it's a city, it's kind of rural, but at the same time a city. South Bend is kind of a weird place. Like it's hard to explain it. You know what I mean? But it is a city. It's referred to as a city, but there's a lot of rural areas out here. But it's a lot of places where they do put those bikes, the electric bikes and the scooters and all. They really being. I'm seeing that a whole lot now, and that's within the last 5 years too.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
They took off over it, definitely. I've got one.
And people was kind of reluctant to like take part in it at first. It seems like, I don't know, maybe it was just what I was seeing, but it seemed like they was kind of reluctant to like take part in. But now it's just like, everybody rides those bikes. They take the scooters. They use Uber a lot more now. Like usually like people be like, hell no, like here in America, like I'm driving myself. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just it. I got my whip, I got my car, I'm riding Benz or whatever it is I'm riding, you know what I'm saying? And I'm driving myself to where I got to go because that's a part of who you is here in America. A lot of people identify with their cars, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like a part of their character, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? So
I've noticed that, Corey. I really have not. I get that one because they love their cars over there. Over here, we don't. We're more just on the transport and how we get us there the quickest. Whichever way.
Right.
I'm the same. I used to have like I was a more motorbike man. I used to have my little moped for a while. So and I didn't. It's get quicker to get through traffic. That's all I had it for, Corey. I didn't really care about looks or anything. So
it's all about looks here in America. It's all about your persona and all of that. You know what I mean? But people are starting to get out of that, and it's the younger generation that's making the Ubers a little cooler, the scooters and the bikes and what have you is a lot more accepted nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
But it's crazy, like, like it's like you just like it's nothing to you, like to jump on your motorbike, you know what I'm saying, and go and pick your groceries up. But like somebody on a motorbike in America picking up groceries would be like, yo, like what's up with dude? He tripping. Like this.
Yeah, I see it.
You kind of get clowned for that a little bit. I don't know, like I said, it's kind of changing a little bit, but I think still people would still be reluctant to like go and pick the kid up from school with the motorbike. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, man, you can't.
What, Corey, it's funny because over here, my little electric scooter, what I have, when I'm at home and I got to pick my daughter up, I usually go and pick her up on it, and she loves it. Everyone in the school's starting to do it now. It's like she loves being on that. Whereas she doesn't want to get in the car with her mum. When her mum picks her up, she says, I'd rather daddy pick me up today. So it's reverse over her in some senses, like it's not. it's not such a big thing about your car or posing. Some people, no, I'm not gonna lie, Corey. There's enough brothers over here who like to pose and have a big whip, and but you can't. It's not like over there where you drive long places and you got a car. You need a car for that. It's better off the amount of traffic in London. It's best you just catch a train or, something more feasible.
And you know what? It depends on the bigger the city. Like, so when I'm downtown in Chicago, like, no, you're not driving. It's nowhere. It's impossible to drive, basically. You know what I'm saying? So I do like say if I'm me and my family, like we want to go out and do a little bit of shopping or go out to a nice restaurant, I'll go ahead and catch the train out to downtown. You know what I'm saying? But like it's and just come on back home if we coming back that night. But like if I'm staying, like I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? I'm driving. I'm gonna pay for a parking thing, and it's like that. But it just depends. Like I said, in Chicago, it's a bigger city and it's almost impossible to drive some of the places, like in the downtown area. So yeah, you would definitely be using, the commuters, you know what I'm saying, those type of things, transit and all of that.
I get it now. When I hear you guys say 10 hours to somewhere, you need a car. I couldn't, and there's no train. I would have to be driving it, and there's no other way really. You have to drive. So I get it.
I mean, it's a train, but like it'll be miserable. It's not a fast train like y'all got. It's just like it's a cold. Like the train is ran on, like you know what I'm saying. Like it's electric. Really? Actually, it is electric train, but it's not a speed train like that.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. Our ones they are fast. We have fast trains straight to what city we want to go to in England. So
yeah, y'all trains go like 600 miles an hour or something like that, don't it?
That's the under one, because we got a train that goes from our dock on London in England to France under the water. That's a speed train. It takes us clean. I think it takes 45 minutes to get to France.
Yeah, that's crazy. Right? We need that here, man. That's just like, man, I would love to like be on a project that's like building that kind of infrastructure right there. Like we need that here, man. That's real. That's real shit right there, Fitz. I would love to like see that, like be on that train underground, like the glass, or you can't see that.
No, you can't see nothing. It's a tunnel, and it's just, but we've got trains that even you can't see, but they're not so low under. That's deep, whereas you can see as you're going into the water and coming out on some trains, like going to different places in London and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. That's nuts.
Have you never been here before, Corey?
No, I never been to London. I got so my family from Ghana, right? But half of them moved to Europe and half of them into the United States. So I got a lot of family over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know how to explain over there. I don't know if you guys would like over there, to be honest, but.
It seemed like America to me, but it's just like they like more mature than America. Like they've been through all of the things that we starting to go through already. So like,
I think, Corey, you know what the difference is with us? We've not experienced racism at the level of as you guys are, because as you said, it's so big, and you might have towns over there. I suspect you got towns over there that are just fully white and fully black. Where over here, it's just not like that. It's so amalgamated with different ethnicities. You grow up with white people who are very close to you, like I'm black, Chinese, whichever color. So
yeah,
you don't have
and see over here fits like, and this is mostly for white folks. Like you could grow up being a white boy, Fitz, and never ever come in contact with a black person ever in your life. You could actually do that here in the United States. It's places it's little small towns in little cities that you could actually do that. You know, a lot of people in the United States, they have a town, they have a high school, they marry their high school sweetheart, they go and work for the local municipalities or whatever, what have you. You know what I'm saying? And they never leave that town. Like as a white person, you could actually do that. You could actually isolate yourself to the point where you never come in contact with any other race ever for your whole entire life. Like it's a lot of white people that never experienced Black people outside of television here in the United States. So like they already have an idea. So that's the problem. And I always talk about that is the problem with the racism. It's not necessarily that they want to be racist. It's just the fact of the ignorance. Like they never experienced something. So it's only going to be what they heard or what they saw on TV. And usually when you see Black people on TV in the United States, there's some bullshit going on. You know what I'm saying?
You're right, Corey. I was saying that to, I don't know who the other day. Our perception, not me, because I've got a bias towards you guys. Obviously, I've embraced, I'm biased towards Black and you guys, your culture anyway. But when you talk to the average white guy or normal person over here, the layman over here, the first impression they're going to get is from the media and the perception they've got of you over there, which is very aggressive. And you just have no, I don't know what to say. They just got that impression of you. Whereas with me, I see the difference in that. I don't judge people on that. But yeah, that's the impression Americans give out.
Right. Yeah. And I could see it too, like a lot of the way we talk, like if you ever came into a barbershop in the United States, you would swear up and down like somebody was getting ready to fight in there. You know what I'm saying? Like the way people talk in the barbershop. It's aggressive, it's a man cave, basically, is what a barbershop is here. Like you go there to talk the shit, kind of some of the similar shit that we talk on these channels, you know what I'm saying? And the conversations get heated and passionate, and people yell and they cuss in and whatever, but nobody's gonna get in a fight. It's just the way we talk. That's just the way we do things, you know what I'm saying? And I see how somebody from the outside could take that as being like super aggressive or intimidating, you know what I'm saying?
To them, yeah, it is aggressive. If you don't go into it and look into the culture properly, you just think Black people in America they kill each other and they're very aggressive. All they want to do is kill each other and complain, but that's an idea that's been pushed over here. And it's not good. I don't think that's a good idea at all, because I know you guys differently. But then sometimes you being classed with the same brush as a minority, do that in America,
Right. Most Black people, like if let's say it was 10 Black people in the United States, right? Let's say it was 100. Let's say it was 100 Black people in the United States. Like 80 of them Black people would be hardworking, upstanding, tax-paying citizens. At least 80 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it is. Like most Black people don't commit crimes. Most Black people won't even jaywalk, because the act of jaywalking could mean life and death for you here in the United States. So most Black people are law-abiding citizens. You know what I'm saying? And it's for the most part, it's like 40 million of us here, right? And like half of them is elderly people, right? And then another like 25% or so is young kids that just going to school, and then you got the other like working class men and women that just go to work, and you have this very small minority who we get the label, we labeled under the small gang minority. Like it's a gang culture here in the United States. Basically, that's how all Black people are painted, because we live in some of these neighborhoods where there's gang activity and drug activity, right? And we've come accustomed to, like, it's better off not to be having a relationship with the police, right? But they don't mean us no good, right? And it's only going to give us animosity between one another. So we got the whole thing, the no snitch thing, and we all get painted in the one corner because of like the neighborhood we grew up in. You know what I'm saying? Type shit.
Exactly, Corey. I see that. I see it. I see the minority, and it's horrible for you guys, because then it causes a lot of problems as well, even for you guys over there with white people, because they've done that. A lot of white, as you said, and there's white people ain't seen black people, and they've only seen them through the TV. So what kind of impressions do they have? You know?
And I empathize with them though. Fitz, I don't, like having these discussions, and this is, and I'm going to point out somewhere where I've grown, right? Having these discussions help me to understand that, and it's not their fault that that's the case. That's just the circumstances. They just as much as a victim of circumstances as I am. You see what I'm saying? Just because their ancestors may or may not have had my ancestors enslaved, don't mean that those white people have not been victimized by false information. You know what I'm saying? And misleading. They've been misled. You know, you see what I'm saying? They've let the anti-vaxxer convince them into not being vaccinated. You know what I'm saying, Fitz? So that's I have that empathy for them. Now, don't get me wrong. I have not, and I will not forget what happened to my ancestors. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't have that. I don't hold that grudge no more. I don't try to do I know how divisive the white and black thing is. So like when people talk about the white science and the black science, and I know where that's all coming from, and I know it don't lead to no good. Even when black people do it, it's all leading to no good. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I just don't do it at all on no level. You know what I mean?
Corey, if you came here, you'd find it odd, because the love that you would get, not just in general, from people is different, from the people of different ethnicities from you.
Right, yeah.
For us, we can't see the same as you. We've obviously we've been established in this kind of mindset for a bit longer than the Americans have. So it's we've come into a set of way of thinking where we don't really have there is tensions between races over here. I will not say there isn't, but never on the level of how you see it.
Right. Yeah.
It's hard for me, just because of how I've been brought up. It's hard for me to see, how can I say it? I don't know how to say it without it sounding wrong.
No, you got to say it. You just got to say it plain. That's the whole thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no, you can't be trying to articulate it in a way that fits somebody's feelings or nothing like that. Like, that's just not, you're not going to get your real message across.
What I would just say, in my opinion, is sometimes now I think, and it's just my opinion, I think a lot of it has to do with our own attitude now. Now the Black American, it's our own attitude now, what we're fighting against, not so much the racism. And
it's a lot of that. I think it's more 50-50 now. I would say, me personally, I would say it's more 50-50 than it's ever been. Like, if you're a Black person, like, I mean, the starting line, like, it ain't fair at the starting line, right? But you can like get up in the race, like you can like establish yourself. You can say like, okay, my dad wasn't college educated, and I just barely graduated high school, but I'm gonna make sure that my kids are college educated. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure mine have master's degrees or either PhDs or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
And
like, you have the ability to determine that.
Exactly.
Nowadays.
Yes, Corey, that's it. You're never going to be on a level playing field with the majority who are white. At this precise moment, you're a minority, but you've got the opportunity to better your minority, like we do over here. It's dedicated to education. Now, Corey, I got to say this: what's sneaking in over here in the youngers is, because I keep saying this and it sounds rude, and it's not meant to be rude, it's just how it is. Because of our Western privilege now, the kids have turned away from what Caribbean American, African American, I keep saying it, our Afro-Caribbean parents brought to England, because I'm third generation. My mum, and before my mum came here and established stuff, worked, went to school, got houses, you know, gave us that standpoint. And once we came through that into the 90s and so forth, these guys have kind of turned their back to that. And because of the privileges, what their mums had given them, like established the house and stuff like that, they're looking more at what the Americans are pushing. Oh, these people and rah, we can't get to where they are at, and rah. And you get what I mean, Corey?
And that's part of and that's the poison that America is poisoning the rest of the world with the blackology, Fitz. This is how far the blackology is going to spill over, and it's going to reach your front door, Fitz. That's why you have to combat it. You know what I'm saying? You have to combat that. That's the whole point.
They've been tied up. Some of the ones that are really deep into it, Corey, there's no getting around them at the moment, you know, unless the Americans change, unless you guys change. Because you got to remember, we're steeped in your culture from music, from even your freedom fighters. I know more about your freedom fighters than any of the other ones in the Caribbean, you know? So we're steeped in your history. Rap has took over mostly England, if it's not ragga or Jamaican music or along them lines. So it's hard to get it out. It's hard to weave that out. You know, that how I got to where I am in this conscious community was because someone presented Phil Valentine to me, and because I'm scientific literate, I was like, what the hell is this man talking about? And I went online, I found Sarnet and so forth and so forth.
Right. Yeah, you know, it's and that's what I'm saying too. Like, you know, like the rhetoric and you know, it just spills over and it poisons everybody. It's no good for anybody. And I want to say that the music industry in America is one of the biggest, like the movies, all of your movie stars and all of your rap stars and your R&B artists and whatever. Those are some of the biggest pseudos in, you know, as far as in the Black community. Like they listen to Phil Valentine, they listen to Bobby Hemmett and all of these, like they listen to Polite. You know, you see basketball players and these movie stars like listening to the shit that these scam artists be actually saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like they some of the biggest pseudos over here, like the rappers and the movie stars. So that's a big problem, especially if y'all is immersed in our culture, like as far as our music, dress.
It's true, Corey, you just hit the nail on the head. The differences were merged in it. But from my era and your era, we've been listening to rap and hearing all of that, but we didn't take it literally. Nowadays, they take that rap literally, and they're listening to pseudos as well, literally.
Right. Yeah. And that's big time here. Like when I was young, like, and we listened to the Snoop Dogs, the Dr. Dre's, the Tupacs, the 8 Balls, the MJG. Like we heard what they said, we thought it was cool, right? But we knew that like this was a storytelling. Like we took it as these are the things. They wasn't glorifying it. They were saying like these are the things you don't want to end up in. Now these days, like the kids actually glorify, like you would never hear Tupac tell you to go and eat a pill, eat some kind of medication or something like that. Okay, fine. He'd say pour out a little liquor or pass the Hennessy or whatever. You know what I mean? Fine. And the trees. But who didn't smoke some trees and pass the Hennessy? You didn't need Tupac to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? But these kids is eating Percocets and I don't know, Oxycontins and the rest of like all kinds of names. Like you name it, Fizz, they eat it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a big time difference.
I was saying to someone over there, and I shouldn't compare it to over here because it's much bigger and different. But I was thinking, how many rappers have died? They're celebrities. We see people as celebrities, people who they're not untouchable, but you're above a certain standard of living, not living in the life like you're a celebrity. You're making millions and you're still on YouTube having wars with people till you get yourself shot. I just don't get that, Corey. It's,
and that's the only thing like that celebrities got to look forward to here is either dying from a drug overdose, killing somebody and ending up in prison, or ending up getting killed your own self. You know, like that's the whole rap industry, the whole, you know, hip hop, you know, that's just where it went to. Like,
just in general, Corey, I said this I was on another show, I can't remember, and they nearly killed me. I said, listen, really, what are you guys killing each other over? Words. Imagine that, just a couple words was said online. And because of your ego and because you're meant to be the man, or you're out there in the public domain in YouTube land or wherever, you're gonna get yourself killed over words.
Hey, Fitz, let me tell you, I don't know if you ever heard of this, but it's a word. It's called mug, and this may be just for the Midwest. It may not be like in California or in New York, like, but we got this thing. It's called mugging. Mugging is short for mean mugging, which means a way that somebody looked at you. You can mean mug somebody, and that means you looked at them in a certain way, right? You can get your ass killed in the middle of downtown, in the middle of broad daylight, at the Christmas Day parade. You can get shot to death, right? For mean mugging somebody, like for looking at somebody in a certain way. Like a look will get you killed here. You know what I'm saying? And the nigga will justify it. The one who killed you would justify it, say, man, like the nigga mugged me. That's gonna be his excuse. He mugged me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's getting like that over here, Corey.
And, hey, also, right? Listen, what y'all also see in the rap music, you know, because I'm a hypocrite too. Like I love that shit and I hate that shit at the same time.
Me too. Me too.
You know what I'm saying? But,
I do as well.
what you see in the rap music, right, is right, gang culture, right? So one label sign, let's say Lil Durk, right? Now, well, when Lil Durk gets hot, guess what? This is in the opposite gang. So now the opposite gang get hot, right? Then so another label signs the opposite gang. You know what I'm saying? So different labels are benefiting because they're getting the enemy of the other gangs.
Right.
Yep.
So they continue their street shit has now come into the industry because they got real beef and real murders that happen in the streets. And now these niggas are all cohabiting the same place. You know what I'm saying? You see it in Florida now too with different Florida rappers, different sets.
I got this for you.
Yep, exactly.
So that's what you see now. That's crazy, bro. It's
crazy. It's ridiculous.
I don't think there's no way to end this shit, bro. Like being real, just I think we're gonna have to see the death of hip hop, unfortunately, to end it.
I think that's the only way, and well, I don't even know. I don't know. There's no way of cleaning it up
so
now.
Popular. Yeah, it's the fucking biggest genre music there is right now.
Hey, but do y'all got mugging? Do y'all say mugging down south?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just wanted to know if we was like the only ones in the Midwest.
Yeah, we got that from y'all though. We got that shit from y'all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but you will get killed. You literally, like in Chicago, like where I'm from here, well, like, dude, you will literally get killed, dude, for mugging a nigga. Like, and that will be like the dude that killed him will really like justify it, be like, yo, he mugged me. Like, and people supposed to have empathy for that. Like, yo, nah, he wasn't supposed to mug you like that. Like, shit's it's crazy to me, Fitz. Or in social.
He can't mug a nigga, Corey.
Corey.
Hold on, he mugging? What the fuck
wrong? The nigga mugged you. You should have off the nigga. Why you let the nigga get away with that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Corey, my son, he's 20. As I might have told you guys this already. He went to go to Cream's. It's like an ice cream place. Yeah. We're from South London. He went to West London. He's in there with his friends. All of a sudden, these guys bowling asked them, where are they from? Obviously, my son's, he's got a little bravado. He thinks, you know, he said, why are you asking me anything? It ended up in them chopping, using, because over here it's more knife crime. So he's pulled out a machete and stabbed one of the other one. Once they started to fight back, another one's pulled out a gun and shot my son. They pulled out the gun and my son seen the gun and tried to jump over the counter and they shot him in his bum.
Yeah, man, it's wild, man. It's the kid.
Nigga brought some machete and knife and nigga over there. Goddamn, you can't with the quickness.
I said, where do you know? They don't know these guys from Adam. It's just because they're in the wrong area. They're not meant to be in that area. That's how it is. West London, South London, you don't go. You don't not meant to travel. And these are not like your big states. These are little places within London.
Yeah, it's like that in Charleston where I'm from. That's why, and I came to Atlanta. That's why I loved Atlanta, because I'm able to move freely. I can just go to a area. But in Charleston, it's like, it's so secluded. Niggas, when you there, they know you're not from there. Only way you can be there is you gotta be stamped from another nigga from there.
Yes.
Otherwise, you can't be in the area. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's just like that here too. Like it's like people think like, you know, when they think about Chicago, they think about a big city, but it's not. Like it's blocks. Like it's centered down to blocks, right? So one nigga from this end of the block, like it could be the same street, like the same. It could be Keeler Street, right? But the niggas that's in the 200 block of Keeler cannot go down to the 500 block of Keeler. Like the same street though. Like, and not only that, you can't even go to the corner store. It's a corner store around the corner from Keeler. It might be on Springfield or something like that. Like, no, you cannot go to that corner store on Springfield, although it's less than a half a mile away from where you live at, right? You have to go to the one that is on Keeler Street. If you get caught at the one around the corner from Keeler, it's green light. It's open season on your ass. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna say you was dead wrong. They're not gonna blame the guy who killed you, so. They're gonna say you was dead wrong for doing that, for going in that store and getting a bottle of water. You was dead wrong for that. It's crazy like that here, man. It's nuts like that here. Like we never been to, like, I know some places down south, like they used to trip on colors and shit like that. And out in California, like we never tripped on colors. It was always about your set, like your block, your area. You know what I'm saying? Your side of town.
Like that down here. That's, you know, Cali was a color shit. Here it's neighborhood. You know I mean? Same thing in Charleston, like nigga Ashleyville, you in the garden. It's like that whole area stand for something. You know what I'm saying? You can't. And in Charleston, we like, you know, we around water, right? So it's like you can't go over one part, like cross that bridge, you have an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like the niggas on one side of the bridge, the niggas on the other side of the bridge. Like you got to be legit to be on both sides of the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you feel me? But the city, right, is neutral. But if you get caught in that city area, shit can go down too. But the city is kind of like you just go down there, and if you do bother some shit, you just hope it don't get crazy. You know what I'm saying? But nobody claimed the city. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's how it is downtown. Like nobody claimed downtown, but like certain niggas just don't, like you can't go downtown. Like it's a spot like where everybody kick it at downtown Chicago. Like it's off the water and shit, off the beach, off Lake Michigan and shit. Like it's basketball rims out there. You know what I mean? Like you can skate. It's a skateboarding rink right there. The kids be skateboarding and shit and all that shit. Like, but certain niggas like, no, don't come down there because the whole downtown is gonna be towed up. It's gonna be a war zone. Like motherfuckers ain't really seen like shit. It's crazy. It's really crazy, ridiculous down here, man.
I'm sure Sosa and Corey, in your day, and even in my day over here, if you were involved in certain things and you went somewhere, you could get through without that. You know, any problems, like you're not involved. They know who was involved and who wasn't. You know, you had your signs or whatever you had. Nowadays, it doesn't matter if you're a family man, whoever you go across that bridge and you're in the wrong place, you could get touched.
Oh and no doubt.
That's where I think it's gone crazy. You know, like it's
what's funny that makes it different. Like if like now I've been away for a while and I'm older. I'm neutral now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been away from Charles for a while, so I can go anywhere. Like they don't see me as anything. I'm just an older guy doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if I was in my early 30s, mid 20s, oh, yo, bro. Hey, yo, I ain't never seen, you ever seen that? I ain't never seen that. I ain't never seen that nigga. You know what I'm saying?
It's so crazy because, like, I think I've been so busy, like, with my career and shit, right? That I missed the point where, like, I jumped from, like, being, like, like known, like, in the city, because like I said, my city is only like 150,000, 200,000 people, right? It's not very big. But I went from being like well known in the city and respected, like, and then to the point where I don't not like nobody knows me now. And it's like people refer to me like, "Hey, what's up, OG?" Like I'm some old dude. Like
I
it's
love
crazy,
that shit,
man.
though, Corey. I love that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love that shit. Like I live in the cab,
I
right?
don't know how I feel about that. Like, so, like I feel still kind of disrespected being referred to as OG. Like, hold on, bro. Like, who you talking to? I'm not no OG.
I love that shit. Like I moved from, I used to be in the cab a lot, so a lot of shit I got into, all that shit around the whole the cab county area. So I moved. Now I'm on the south side, and just like the joy of walking in somewhere and nobody knows who the fuck I am, man, is just the most beautiful thing. I'm saying, like, I love that shit. Like, I don't even talk to people because I don't like, nah, I ain't trying to get no niggas, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no friends, nigga. Nah. How you doing? That's it. I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to build no relationship with nothing. I ain't trying to be in none of the bullshit y'all in. I want to just be the regular nigga who just come here, get some shit at the store and leave. I want to be that guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's the same way I feel about me and my family. Just me and my family at the moment. No one else really.
A lot of times I'm with my daughter, you feel me? And I trip. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I trip out when I'm with my youngin'. I'm a little, might be a little throw sometimes. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I've been shot, paranoid. You know what I'm saying, Corey? Like, got a paranoid about shit. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't really approachable like that.
Once you experience that, you like, nah, I ain't going through that no more. That ain't gonna happen to me no more. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't approachable like that.
No, I ain't. No, you can't just approach me like. I ain't with that. Like, you know,
I been like to get mad at my girl sometimes, right? Cause we be in the hood. We'll go to the liquor store, get something to drink, and then she won't sit in the car for a minute, roll up. I'm like, nigga, pull off. Like, I'm not finna be sitting still. Like, I can't. It's me just walking up. I'm like, man, pull off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the easiest way to get caught.
I done got comfortable doing that, Chef. I mean, Sosa, because like I'm so far removed. It's like I don't even think about.
Oh, now. Oh, I'm talking. Oh, yeah, now. Yeah, I'm talking about back then. Like,
now, oh yeah. Back then, no, hell.
Right out. Yeah. Like now, now it's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was too well known. Like everybody knew what I was driving. They knew, like, I mean, I could go get a new car today. Like the whole city would know, like, oh, he and that. You know what I'm saying?
And I think they
can on goddamn 22s and shit. Come on, man, pull off.
I think Corey, and now they sense when they see you out with your kids a lot and you're doing your thing. They know you're on a big man thing. You're not really into that crowd, so they do show respect. I see it as well.
No doubt they do. Yeah,
you know, like they don't get you involved. You give up that persona as that you're a grown up, which you are. So yeah. Have you guys been watching this chat?
I haven't been looking at the chat. Nope. I
will never look at the chat. If I'm looking at the chat, I'm in that motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie.
I hear Thingy saying to us, "What is Blackology?" Everything. Big up. Everything is everything.
Cause I went to Saw Chat. I was like, "Yo, what y'all charge for Blackology courses?"
Yeah, he's asking what Blackology is.
Blackology is basically the idea like the Africans did everything first. It's like African superiority.
Africans and everything.
It's the opposite of white supremacy. It's
yeah. Everything other people they got from Africa. You know what I'm saying? Is that type of rhetoric.
And they can do no wrong. You can never question, anything about African culture or nothing like that. Like, that's all black apology to me.
That should be a good answer, because that's about it.
Yeah, no critique allowed.
No critiques
the
allowed.
minute you question some shit, you anti. Hold on. What
yes,
question?
ma'am.
Oh my God, nigga, ask a question. Yeah.
Who would we say is a best prime blackologist?
Right now, I'm sorry, I got blackologist. But you know what I'm saying, like Van Sertima. Van Sertima was coming up. But then now you got your SETI.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You feel me? Sonetta's in that room. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm out, man. My little one done woke up, and you got to pay full attention to a 6-7 month year old.
Yeah.
I appreciate, man, the conversation, man. We probably gonna go live later on, so be looking out for the pseudo killers.
Yeah, I think we should go live later.
I'm about to dip too, but hey, that show was fire though. Motherfucker in the chat was like, "Yo, I'm loving this shit." Doing it.
Yeah. We got it in though. We had a good discussion today, man. I appreciate the discussion, man. It was all good, man. On this channel and on the pseudo killer. So, we hopefully we made some headway and people learned something, and we can move on to the next conversation.
All right, peace, y'all, bro.
All right, peace, everyone.